Hi guys, welcome to Dash 28 Live, or almost live. After a few technical issues, we got ourselves sorted. Right, we've got a top of the table clash here at It's Always Sunny in Pannithor tournament. The guys have already started and got cracking with their turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to join them halfway through. I'm going to give them prompt to get cracking, and while they're doing that, we'll drop down the lists and go from there. So our two competitors are Jeffrey Traish and Justin Gisby Clark. Jeffrey is using the Night Stalkers at the top, and Justin is using the Undead at the bottom. Joining me here on the cast, I have Thomas,
Hello.
Mark Croger, and Ben.
Hello.
Right.
Greetings.
So let us get them to crack on, and then we can follow them as they're going. Right.
They're suggesting their clocks are low.
Right. So what should we do? Should we get their lists up while they're playing on in the background? Who should we start with? I'm going to go to. I think it was Jeff, wasn't it? So if I stop sharing here, and we'll start to share. No, it would help if I actually open up the lists. Come on, here we go.
I love that noise. Hang on.
It is. It's this one. If you guys aren't aware, that is the pop of a port bottle. It's a port, isn't it? Is that right?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, nice.
Old's finest.
Any particular vintage?
Probably not finest. No, it's the cheap stuff. It's good. It's got
That's what I'm
cursive
talking
font.
about.
Classy.
Thomas is getting a bit of shade for his camera in the chat already.
Well, he's concentrating on his painting, isn't he? He's got more important things to do. Right. So what we've got here is Jeffrey Chase's Night Stalkers. Now, obviously, we've got lots of chaffy bits almost at the top, haven't we, here, to a certain extent, with some doppelgangers, with the Staying Stone, Spectres. 5 regiments of Needle Fangs. Ooh, that's pretty tasty. But here's the core of the army, isn't it? 3 hordes of Butchers, the Portal of Despair for the Inspiring, 2 Void Lurkers, one with the Scripture for the extra charge, and one with the Blade of the Beast there. Have you guys got any comments on that? That's an interesting choice, isn't it?
I think it's a very good choice, looking as a counter to other heavy flyers or big flyers.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the scripture though, because the scripture's life leech. Life leech.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, the Scripture's life leech, not the extra charge. So yeah,
That
life
just
leech.
seems
I mean,
like
it's just going to make him stand around for a little bit longer. I think that's probably his thought process on that. And then we've got the Butcher Flesh Ripper as well. So 3 of those. One with the Trickster's Wand, which we'll get to, and Blade of Slashing and Mace of Crushing, just for, I guess, that just a little bit of impact. Yeah, a little bit of impact.
Hex is going to win this game for sure.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that'll be
100%.
deciding factor right there.
And then if we flick over to Justin's list, got 2 regiments of zombies. Again, I think more for release options, aren't they, more than anything else? Soul Reaver Infantry, 2 regiments of those. The obligatory Revenant Cav, so 3 troops, a regiment. 2 White Hordes, 1 with a Brew of Haste, 2 catapults. A Revenant King and Flying 1 with a Brew of Sharpness and Surge, interestingly. It's not something I would normally take on that. Necromancer for Inspiring and Weakness. Weakness is so good. And a Standard Bearer for some Inspiring. So, if we move over to the game here, I don't think they've actually started moving again, have they?
I think you're logged out. Yeah. Do you want me to restart them? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you left and you haven't come back in. Let me check. Yeah, you're not in the game.
All right, so I'm going to come back in. There we go. This is how the pros do it.
Yep. This is seamless. Ben, if you get tired, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to feel like I'm massaging your head to wake you up.
Wait, there we go.
Right.
Such a head massage.
Okay, so I think should we do like a summary of their kind of first turn? Would that make sense? I'm not sure.
Sure.
Because
So
I
Jeff
think
went first.
Yep.
And basically, he moved most of his stuff forward, and the needle fangs on the right, as well as the void lurker, just pivoted basically and moved a little bit. I think the biggest, most important movement was that void lurker in behind or in front of, depending on perspective, that rock formation, and it was blocking charges and in a really good position to stop anything coming forward without getting flanked.
Yeah, that's the Beast Slayer one. So really there to stop his big worm.
But other than that, it was pretty simple.
Yeah, and then we had the undead basically just move forward on the right, looking to pretty much only give options where he won't go through a unit in one turn. The most interesting thing from Justin was his positioning of the whites. So at the end of the turn, he has left them in charge range of that void lurker with Beast Slayer behind the rock formation. So he chose to move it. I think it was 1.4 inches forward or something. His only other options were probably to go sideways and get in the terrain, or I think going backwards would have actually got him out of range of the void lurker.
Either way, it was a difficult situation. So I guess we'll see how it pans out in the next turn.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were commentating on this while we were offline, trying to fill the void, even if it's just between ourselves. But we had. It's interesting that they've completely refused flanks on both sides, haven't they? It's just.
I found that quite amusing seeing them both refuse. So no, I'm taking this side. You take the other side.
Well, I guess the only other thing to discuss from turn one is that Justin, with his balefires, chose to target the portal at the back. So we were debating offline what he would choose to target, whether he'd try and go for some unit strength and take off some needle fangs, but he chose to go at the portal and did 3 wounds, and he got double ones, which were meaningless at the time, but he said it was good for him to get him out of the way.
All right, so are they aware that they can play on?
I haven't been kicked out yet, have I?
He's going now.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So the void lurker on the far right's been weakened. Is that going to make much of a difference here?
Probably not towards the options that he gave them anyway, I would have thought. Maybe it means that one of those chaff options won't disappear, do you think? But realistically, it's probably still a good chance if he decided to go through something, but I don't know if he would be charging anyway.
10 attacks.
Yeah, I think he'll just stay there and try to delay the action as far as he can.
Because it still has... I mean, after being weakened, it's crushing 1, thunderous 1, so it's still reducing the defense to 3s. I don't think it'll be... Yeah, I don't think that'll take it off in one turn.
Yeah, I mean, who's he gonna target with it? In reality, I think he'd be better off just holding back and just keeping that right hand side of Justin's honest, isn't it? Or else, it's just going to be a swap, isn't it? We're just going to see them jump armies. I think we were commenting as well, like unit strength wise, they're very close, but Jeff has unit strength. I suppose it's probably worth noting out that we haven't pointed out yet is invade, haven't we? Have we pointed out the actual scenario? All right. Okay.
We're doing it now. It's invade.
Yeah. Invade. Yeah.
Go! Yeah.
Justin has 15 total units in his undead list with a total unit strength of 23, whereas Jeff has 16 units with 25 total unit strength. So he's got the up there.
And I think what we'll see from Traish this turn is just basically only giving Justin needle fangs or maybe those doppelgangers. I think that's how he's going to probably move through this turn. Try and draw something or something or both of those things forward. We've got Hugh in the chat on the stream asking, does Justin just have to ignore the Void Lurker on the right flank, let it do the damage? Because if he doesn't, that whole flank will be held up forever. Oh, Judd, you got this down pat now, mate. Getting the questions up and everything.
You know, if only I had the technical ability. Anyway, yeah, I think the thing is, if you look at it, oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it'll take a couple rounds to get through that Void Lurker with one unit. I mean, it's only defense 4, but 17-19, that's quite a nerve to try and chew through, unless he gets lucky with the nerve rolls.
Yeah, so I think it'll depend on what Traish does with it this turn, won't it? Yeah, because I mean, if Traish chose to leave it there, which I don't think he would, then you'd push up and threaten with those Revenant Cab for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting if we are talking about them just pivoting around that blocking terrain in the middle, you've got 3 unit strength on Traish's side, and then you've got 4 unit strength on the left-hand side. So if it was just a flat-out, sacrifice of both ends, then Jeffy's going to stay ahead. So it's Justin's here to react to, isn't it, at the end of the day?
I mean, and Justin could just take the central, the RevCav troop that's closest towards the Void Lurker, charge it, and just knock the flying off it and hold it there for a turn. I think that would be a good move. And you let the regiments on the side try and flank it for the turn after.
Yep.
But again, that's what does Traish do here? Does he try to get around the back, or does he just move back and kind of bait him a bit more? Because Justin hasn't really left him any decent targets.
No, Justin positioned well not to give him a good target, and he hasn't got the range to just fly over the back there. So, as in Traish doesn't have the range to fly over the back. So, actually, if he pivoted, he might actually be able to drop behind the right-hand Soul Reaver infantry, and between that and the zombies, there's a chance he'd fit there.
Okay. Who's that? The Void Lurker in the middle?
The Void Lurker on the right, yeah, the weakened one.
Then you'd have to worry about the whites into the flank being surged.
True, yeah.
Or even the rear.
Yeah, it would definitely be a rear because he'd have to pivot to get there.
So not a good choice. He's done well to deflect that Void Lurker for the moment. But who knows? He could just charge something, double six it, and off it goes.
Yeah, that's it. We could never allow just for the double six.
Right, so what is he doing here with that leftmost Void Lurker? Keeping him on the defensive, making sure it can't get charged.
I think he's also saving stopping the dragon from leaping over the top and charging into these spectres here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't want to give that dragon any way out, essentially, of just being able to avoid it. This is the one thing. I mean, the undead have got a lot of good counters for the flying, these flying Void Lurkers with the surge, whereas he doesn't have a lot of good counters on Jeff's side unless he's kept them all in arc.
Yeah, so he's just got to be very clever or precise with his movement to make sure that if he does get attacked, that he'll be punished for it.
Does anyone else find it really hard to conceptualize what Night Stalkers do?
No.
You don't?
But that's just I mean, I've played against them a whole bunch. I've played with them a few times.
Yeah, I think my problem is I just haven't played against them enough.
But you guys have got
decent
experience.
armies. Sorry, I was just saying, the armies that I have played against that were competitive all had a bunch of butchers and the flesh rippers as well. So I think there's a trend there.
But Mind Screechers seem to be the crutch that a lot of people seem to go with the Night Stalker army.
I think that's just an easy choice though, because it flies, it moves, it's got a lot of lightning.
And a lot of wind blast as well, hasn't it? So it gives you a lot of tactical options. But it just goes to show, I mean, like, there's so many different ways you can play a Night Stalker list, which is interesting. What I was going to say is you guys are used to playing against Jeff, and he's obviously got some experience playing at the top tables, because this is, after 5 rounds, these are the 2 best guys so far. So we can see Jeff doing this on a regular basis, but this is probably the first time that Justin's come in as top. I haven't got much of experience or knowledge of what Justin has done in the past, so it'd be interesting how it develops, because Jeff is used to this kind of experience, being on the top table. See how it affects Justin.
Yeah, this is his bread and butter. So just another day for Jeff.
Yeah, this is, and it's a pretty. I think during Call to Arms we saw Jeff dabble a bit, but when he's going to only play one, this was a single list tournament, wasn't it? Same list for all 5 rounds. Yeah, you'll see him. This is very much a Jeff list where pretty much everything scores, multiple nimble characters. And as much movement as he can get, basically.
I've liked the Jeff Traish style. The take as much unit strength and units as you can. Don't go too heavy on the old artifacts, and try to just get as much unit strength that's usable on the board. Right? I mean, his favourites are these large infantry hordes, aren't they? And the large infantry characters that just give him so much threat as well as control.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, this is interesting with the Void Lurker.
So he's
looks
moved it
like
back.
moved him out of charge range of everything.
He looks like he's out of charge range of everything, and he's also at an interesting angle. So I'm wondering what his thought process is for that. Is he just trying to cover if Justin tries to go around the blocking terrain? But it doesn't give him a huge number of options if he pushes up on the right-hand side of him.
Yeah.
No, to me it looks like maybe Tracy's decided get rid of that full unit strength on the left-hand flank, and then he'll pivot back and see what he can do, while basically saving all of his unit strength.
So I've had a look on tabletop.to for Justin's events that he's got there. He's only got 3 registered, including this one. In the previous event, he did quite well, placing, I think, was it 7th, if I just read. But the other one was the Call to Arms with the 146 players. Not so well in that one, landing on 91. So if this is his first foray into the top tables, obviously it'd be a bit of pressure, especially against Traish as well.
That makes him very good, Benson. That's around about the same level as me. So
He's amongst the elite, obviously. That's where he is.
Yes.
we'd take him in Canberra, that's for sure. Join us, Justin.
You'll take whoever you can get.
What have we got so far? So he is
shooting 5 shots.
I'm not sure. I think he was trying to hex him, but there we go. Well, he's definitely hexing there. Was he healing? Was there any heal?
Yeah, so I don't know. What's the flesh rip I have that has 5?
So the flesh rip just
doesn't have anything.
Tricks just 1, that's it.
Yeah.
What other shooting does Traish have? Just the Spectres, isn't it?
Yeah, what do the Spectres got? They got Shadow Bolts.
Yeah, so 18-inch piercing 1, hitting on 5s. It's not even steady aim.
No, so maybe was it on 7s? That's why he rolled 5 dice.
Yep, that would be it.
Yep.
Move and cover.
All right. So Justin
Hex
turns
went
to-
off again, Benson. 2 from 2. 2 from 2.
He's just demolishing him. Can't believe he's been able to do so well with that hex.
Okay. So he's sacrificing some zombies. Well, we'll see. But he's moved some zombies into a position to stop. What though? What is he stopping by doing that?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. To me, that looks like, and I mean, obviously, we've got to see what he does with the rest, but it's pretty much just giving away unit strength, I would think.
Yeah, because Traish could just move that Needlefang unit out of the way, get the butchers into the front of those zombies, take it out, and now he's in a prime position with those butchers.
I mean, he can back
That's one
them up
thing
with the
I've
Soul
been-
Reaver infantry.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess does he stay in turn and then start to worry about the objective later? But I found more recently in games I've been quite a bit more conscious as to making sure that if I am going to give up a unit, sacrifice a unit, that it's not going to be advantageous once they're dead. So there's no point throwing it away to try and stall something if it's going to make it a lot harder for me later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a request, Benson,
Yeah.
that Hugh be kicked off direct misfire because he said in the chat that he's going for Justin, and that's not very patriotic as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he edited the last podcast, so it's making life
Oh,
easier
so
for me. So
Yeah, okay. He's pulling his
a
weight.
bit longer.
Mm.
Hang on a sec. Foot break.
I'm a little bit slow on this guy. Sorry. I'll speed up. Okay.
But yeah, it's
So
always
he's
good
moving
going
up
for
the
undead.
cav. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Expected. So where does that leave him? So Traish can move that Void Lurker just about anywhere at the moment. I guess he's threatening the Void Lurker with that cav troop, and he's got range to a lot of this stuff on the back. But if they just keep moving forward, it's not going to matter. Is that a worry for Traish having those two troops there?
No, I don't think so. Not after next turn. He'll be well and truly out of the way. They won't be able to get anything.
Because Traish is bunching up quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he is a risk of getting in his own way, I guess. But I mean, realistically, he could pivot one Flesh Ripper around, and he's only giving away 1 unit strength, isn't he? If he really had to.
It'll take a
Yeah.
long time for that Flesh Ripper to get through a troop of Revcav.
Oh, I mean to hold it up, not to actually
right,
go
okay.
through anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess
mean,
he's got the Void Lurker threatening the flanks there.
He could. I mean, there's a lot of space at the moment for Jeff to move into on the left-hand side. So it'll be interesting to see what he actually does with those whites and the dragon. Because if he just leaves them where they are, they can move into that space, and there's going to be nothing for those cavalry to get to anyway. If he does pin him back though, and decides to throw the whites into the dragon in, then he could pin him just where he is. But then it would need to. Could sacrifice the Needlefangs and the Void Lurker to keep his position.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you kind of want. I want kind of arrows and stuff, so I could just like go right over here and then over there.
Yeah,
Need
it's
to
a shame you
point
can't
things
draw
out.
it on the map.
Again, Hugh's taking offence at my suggesting it's just like he's supporting a regular person against a race against a cheater.
Well, Justin's made it so far, so he's not. He can't be bad. I wouldn't say he's a regular person. He's like a very fast person against a cheater. Maybe.
I mean, come on, he's taken undead, which we all know is just the power gamer's choice, don't we? Right? Come on.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm glazed over when you were speaking before. Sorry. The lists, was it a one list tournament, or you can change it up per round?
One list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's done.
So
well.
Justin went easy mode for the whole tournament.
Well, it is a solid list, but yeah, I don't think it compares with this Night Stalker one. Just because it's a bit too balanced, I guess. It's got a bit of everything.
I also think, like,
aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been watching a lot of Night Stalker lists, but man, I love Void Lurkers. They're so good, and they're pointed. Like, I mean, in theory, I think if we'd seen more leading up to Clash of Kings, I wonder if we'd seen a little bit of a change, because they seem to be pointed very favourably. Like, I know they're only Def 4, but they still pretty much hit as hard as a dragon, and they've got the shooting protection. Not that many dragons get shot at, but
It's still 270 points.
yeah, it's better than 310 though.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good units in the Night Stalker list. I'm surprised I didn't see any Bloodworms in this list. Or Reapers as well.
Oh, I think it's actually a super. I wonder if a lot of people are a bit more, think the way that I do and find it hard to conceptualize the Night Stalkers, because they are that kind of newish IP army. But when you really sit down and look at it, it's a super flexible list. In that you can pretty much use any unit in the list.
Yeah,
Also missing Dread Fiends, which are in most Night Stalker lists.
Dread Fiends, yeah.
Sorry,
I guess
guys.
the Butchers are taking that spot.
Yeah. That's a good unit. There's so many good units in the Night Stalker list.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at both armies, I think they're both pretty well constructed armies. I mean, you can't complain with 2 White Hordes, two regiments of Soul Reaver like infantry, with some of the best chaff in the game. And then this on the other side, 3 Butcher Hordes, 3 Butcher characters, 2 Void Lurkers. They're both very good lists, and obviously I think they're using them really quite well. I mean, I'm just looking at this Soul Reaver infantry moving up behind the Rev Cav. It's good positioning to avoid the Void Lurker jumping over the top. So it's not as if Justin's missing any tricks, I think.
No. Well, you could complain, Jonathan, but no one would listen.
Jeff has a lot of nimble units now that I'm thinking about it. All those Needle Fangs, the Void Lurkers, and the Flesh Rippers.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it so mobile.
Oh, here we go.
When I saw him playing in that, I think, did we show a picture of deployment? So Jeff started basically with his 4 Needle Fangs. How many has he got? 4? 5. 5, just in a line across the back of the board, basically, so he could just do what he wanted with
the
them.
entire map, yeah.
Yeah.
We can show the setup. I've got that here. Let's see if we can.
I may as well while Justin's moving away.
Setting up. No.
What are the symbols there on UB? So Jeff has doppelgangers with a crown, and Justin has the Rev Cav regiment with a star. What is that? What's going on there?
The star is probably boots of striding.
Okay.
Yeah, but they haven't marked all their item units, is the thing.
Yes, they haven't, no.
And that central dot, the red dot?
I think that was just the centre at the start. I don't know why they left it there.
I'm a little bit concerned that we're not playing Invade. The only reason I asked that is that there is no central objective in Invade.
It might just be to give them a rough idea of where halfway is without pulling out the rulers.
It could be. I know the crown is where Jeff's putting is inspiring, so I know that.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
So
from the portal.
From the portal.
And then Justin, does he have anything on that unit?
He's got the boots on that unit,
but he's got it listed in the name.
Yeah, but you've got to then show that. Yeah, there we go. But it's, I think, it's so he can take it off, so he knows when he's used the boots and when he hasn't.
Oh, gotcha. Right. Okay. So sensible.
Yeah.
I just noticed that White Horde has the haste item, making it speed 8. That's a bit better.
Yeah, but that's also why I was surprised they didn't back up a bit more.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily got out of range because he had move 4 going backwards at the end of that first turn.
For this tournament, the scoring system, is that any particular system, or is it something that's unique to this event?
The scoring system is unique to the event. So there is, it's the 5, 10, 15. And then you've got plus points for the number of units you kill, and there's a 4 additional bonus points for killing the special character that they have. So I think they've both got Charlie.
Yep.
So if you kill them, that's +1 tournament point. If you kill more living legends than your opponent, you get another +1. You also get the I don't know, kitten mittens. That was it. Where you don't if you get less than 500 points killed on the opposing side, you get a tournament point for that.
And
So-
if you get more units with the individual rule than your opponent, you get another point. And one for more monsters and or titans in your opponent. Just semantics here. Killer of Legends score 1 bonus point for add more living legend units than your opponent. Does that mean no one can get that because they've changed it to unique units, so there's no more living legends?
Oh, Benson.
You're getting semantic there. Yeah.
And yeah, this is the guy who's chosen recently not to pick up Hugh on all his misnaming of special rules. Now you're pulling out the semantics.
It was that was a huge effort. I just wasn't going to go there. Yeah.
It looks like the worm has left a needle
do what
fang
I
unit
can.
in its flank.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks,
I
Thomas,
don't
for
mind.
staying on the game.
Yeah, that's it. So he's painting. He's got
he
more
has.
concentration than we have.
You're right. The top needle fang unit that's facing forward near the obstacles can see the flank of the worm.
Here we go. Who's going to go for the
Just yeah.
Void Lurker?
A mistake or it's intentional?
I don't think he cares. I mean, the needle fangs. What are they? Five
And it's still
to hit.
24. It's still 24 attacks. It only has to do 1 to knock that flying and nimble off.
But what's that going to stop him from doing? Because he can still move forward and then turn, or even
Two
just charge them.
misses.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
I
You
think
don't want a
it's
double
interesting.
Wave on that.
yeah. That well, he's got to
Insane.
damage him first. Yeah, never mind.
5s and 5s. Yeah.
But it does mean
Okay,
that the
so-
dragon's in an interesting place. He's escaped to a certain extent. The needle fangs are still in range of these whites, so they can pin the whites down.
Would
So this is gonna be a
would you at all consider? I don't think you'd go through him. Would you at all consider needle fangs in the flank and the void lurker in the front, and risk giving the void lurker away? Well, you would give the void lurker away regardless.
The void lurker's dead if you do that. He's
Yeah.
dead.
I
Probably
would
more
rather keep
valuable
the void
to
lurker
me,
as alive just for that flying threat, just knowing that there's something there that can get something in the flank or you're in turn 5 or 6 to score a lot more points. Yeah, and it kind of keeps that side free. If that void lurker is gone, then there's nothing to really challenge Justin on that side. So Charlie was saying in the chat here that Jeff likes to know the halfway point, which is why there's that red spot there.
All right, so here we go. So he's gone into the whites with. Oh, he's double charging it.
That's what I would do. They've got Strider, haven't they? The needle fangs, is that
Yep.
right? So they're not going
Fives
to
and
kill them.
fives.
No, but
Place.
it's locked it down, right? And so the butchers will get him next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was almost saying, well, I'll be tempted to throw the doppelgangers into zombies, but then I realised, no, you don't want to throw doppelgangers into zombies. That's kind of like the opposite of the unit you want to be attacking, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, I
It
do-
would be
I-
an interesting
Zombies.
use of them. You know, Jeff
didn't
does
realise
pull
that-
out tactics that you don't see elsewhere sometimes.
Yeah. Pro moves, you never realise exist. Yeah.
Sorry about my audio as well. Sometimes I don't talk towards the microphone, and so my volume is going to go up and down depending on how excited I get.
That's it, jumping around.
You don't have to be perfect here, Benson. We accept you for how you are.
Ah, thanks.
Warts and all.
Yeah.
I was trying to say, I only realised the other day that doppelgangers, they can't choose which stats they want to take, can they? They have to take all of them. So
Yep.
you could go in and go, oh, I'd like to have the attacks from the zombies, but not necessarily their
Yeah, you
their
either
to hit
have the
value.
doppelgangers or you have your opponent's unit. Yeah, one or the other. Yeah, because otherwise that'd make them really, really good instead of just really good.
It leads them to
Which is
interesting
pretty fun,
scenarios. You throw like troops in, and like I remember charging with a regiment of Alohi and going, in actual fact, it actually works out all right for me because the Alohi don't hit hard enough for me to care.
Not anymore, and I don't think they're going to hit any harder.
Oh, controversial subject. You'd be hurting
Why
some
are they
Vicinian
good
peoples.
anyway? They don't need a buff. They're bloody good.
I played a game last night using 2 hordes and 2 regiments, and they do all right. I mean, it's when you add the sharpness or the strength on top, they're not bad at all. I think people just go, well, they weren't as good as they used to be. What with like vicious as on top of that, nimble and thunderous one. It got ridiculous when you could throw in like a strengthened Alohi horde into front of units and just kill them in one shot.
Yeah.
I think the regiments
They're
are
being
really
taken down
good
from stupid
now.
to just I mean, it's a great unit, regardless of size.
Okay, so he's doing that. He's moving. Jeff is going for use the needle fangs to hold those whites in place and just fly straight through.
Yep.
He's going to get that 1 point of damage that he needs to ground them, isn't he? So they're not going to be able to
Yep.
escape.
Okay, so just looking at the dice here, what's happened? Cat 1 on Void. So that's the catapults. Nothing, Jeff 3. Okay, so it's turn 3. What's happened here? So he's done 1 damage to the whites, it looks like.
Yeah, that would be Charlie, I think, moving in with his cloak of death. Is it?
Aha. Right.
I'll be interested to see if Jeff. I don't reckon he'll take the flank on that dragon.
Just keep pushing around.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, is it
see
even
why-
facing that
why
way?
wouldn't you?
Which way is it facing?
What the? Oh, actually, yeah, the needle fang.
Yeah, it's facing the other
white
way.
dots.
It's facing
there
the
you
other
go.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, but the needle fangs that are horizontal can see the dragon. And
They can do.
Oh, it's those ones, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. It's those ones. Yeah.
And I don't see
could
why
just
you wouldn't take it. Why not? It's a cheap unit.
damage.
Because is it a
Eventually
needless
level it
loss
up.
of unit strength at this point? I guess because he is going to lose it after.
Yep. Because at the moment,
Just
what
all
we
think
are,
it's just a race
it's
of
all about
moving.
the long game. Yeah. See, there he goes.
because Jeff's got 25 unit strength. I can see what he's doing. He's not engaging at all. Because don't forget, this is what's this turn 3, isn't it for him? Is that right?
Turn
And
3 for
Justin is
Jeff.
going to lose the white horde and the zombies.
And the zombies,
So that's
exactly.
a lot of unit strength straight
Yep.
up there.
Yeah. And so Jeff constantly has, is playing the unit strength game. So I just don't think we'll see him engage at all unless he has to.
Hmm.
Because on the ladder at the moment, all either one of these guys need is a win.
Mhm.
If you get a win, they're going to be top dog. So,
I mean,
is it
even
one of those
Jeff-
scenarios where you?
If it's a draw for a Jeff, a positive draw, he still wins.
Yes. So,
So
is it one of those
Justin's-
scenarios where you
He's got to bring it out.
just win? It doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win.
Yep.
He wasn't happy with his choice of side.
I love that sound though. Sorry. For anyone wanting to know why I'm doing this, this is just in case YouTube picks up. Censor. I'm just playing it safe. Just hiding.
I'm going to ruin all your effort.
No. All right. Gone classy as well, huh? Looks good. Okay, so precedent has been set. No more paper.
No more paper.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even
Claire
notice. Did
says
you actually have a
that-
page? You had a page with a bottle on it, did you? Did you have a
Yeah,
page?
well, I'll just bring it up
he's
to camera.
been doing
There you
it.
go.
Oh, right, okay.
So, Hugh,
Alright.
Claire says that you're her best friend. Big fan. Oh, thanks, Claire. You're my favourite too.
I actually
really
think
doesn't help
I
us. We
deserve
don't
the
know who
names.
Claire
I keep
is.
him alive at CanCon every year. Seriously, Benson would be dead if it wasn't for me.
Probably. Yeah. Claire is Hugh's partner.
Ah, right, I see. There we go. He keeps going. That noise.
It's so good. I can just cork and uncork that all day.
Benson won't be waking up till midday tomorrow.
I've got a Star Wars RPG in the morning, so I have to get up. It's like session
Could be a
6
Sith
or
Lord
whatever.
for
Can't
that.
let
There
it
we
down.
go. Right.
So basically, yep, as predicted, Jeff's basically got everything out of sight.
Yep. Apart from the Void Lurker.
Apart from the Void Lurker, which he hasn't moved yet at all, has he?
No. As far as
No.
I'm
Just
aware,
looking at that,
so
right?
check.
How good are the
Yeah,
UV
he's
changes?
moving
By
it.
the way, he's going to nimble and back up.
I
think.
know. Them sight lines. Big improvement.
Yeah,
6,
100%.
12. Yeah, there we go. Nimbled and backed up.
Do you feel that
So
Justin has got a grasp of what's going on? Do you think he's thinking, right, if I get my units into the other side of the board, then I've got a chance? Or has he looked at it and said, hang on a minute, what's the chances of me doing this?
I think Justin's resigned already, to be honest. I think he would know. I think he's probably as in resigned to the inevitable.
Yeah, I think he's worked it out. Yep.
Yeah, he's given away the zombies and the whites are in place. It's unless Jeff went through a monumental cock up, it's pretty hard for him to lose from here, I think.
Yeah, because he's down to 18 unit strength after he loses if he loses the zombies and the whites, he's down to 18 unit strength. And
he's pivoted nothing back to that side to attempt to deal with it. It's going to take too long. And that Void Lurker is just going to sit there the rest of the game, threatening him so he can't really pivot back around, I think. Although is the worm in range now? 6, 12, 18. No. So he's out of range of everything.
I was thinking before the start of the game, what Justin needs to do is just move that White Horde and the Dragon just straight over to the other side and try and take out some Needle Fangs.
I think it's the
Jeff on the back foot.
I think it's the problem. Like it's the single weakness of the whites, though, right? Is not having nimble. So I think Jeff was always going to be able to push forward and probably catch them.
yeah, he'd have been better off if he was going to keep them on that side, constantly just moving them back, just buying himself more and more time.
Yeah, I definitely think we go back to that turn 1 or no, turn 2, where he probably should have backed up instead of coming forward.
Yeah. But they're still speed 8. I mean, he should be able to get away. Either way, it would have been tough.
Yes, yeah. It's unfortunate I haven't got the actual picture of the. Typically, I thought I've managed to get a picture of the setup, but for whatever reason, it's not loading. But it was interesting on the setup to see so much concentrate on either side. I wonder at what point Justin realised that he was going to see the army flying around on the left-hand side and him counter it.
Yeah, because Jeff didn't actually set up as a complete refused flank. Like he was probably slightly less so than Justin, because those flyers were spread out, and then just at his first turn, he just moved them across.
Yeah, and it was just that single Void Lurker on the far right, whereas Justin had both the White Horde and the Dragon, which is a hefty amount of points just sitting there, either waiting to be destroyed or slowly move away.
It looks like top Needlefangs have their corner inside the forest. I'm not sure if that's a mistake or they have agreed that it's out.
If I zoom in, yeah, I mean, it's technically just
close.
in.
I'd give it to him and say it's out. I mean, that's far too close.
It's one of those,
I'll
if you've
ask
got
what his intention was.
It's a top table clash, though. Do all these things go out the window?
Not for me.
No, not for.
But have you ever been at a top table, Benson?
Yeah, I've won. Have you?
Well, I've been there. I don't know about me. Me and Thomas have played on the top table before.
Mm-hmm.
I always seem that you end up making mistakes that you wouldn't normally expect to make. It's interesting. The whites have backed off, so they're just delaying another turn. But the interesting thing is not delaying anything, so he's not bringing anything else in to support them once they've delayed. It's just devoid of the point, I think, to a certain extent.
Charlie points out that those Needlefangs wouldn't have been able to land in there if they were in, because they don't have Pathfinder, so that's got to be out.
He's got a good point.
Which is a good point. Yep.
Because of the delays at the start, I didn't get to tell Jeff that in my usual victory maneuver, I've already whipped off my pants in preparation for his victory. So forgot to give him his pep talk to not expose everyone to it needlessly.
Hugh says, top table, schmott table. Jeff still manages to kick goals while remaining a gentleman.
That's very true.
That, as they would say on the streets.
Isn't that also the most frustrating way to lose as well, when he wasn't an absolute bastard? He was such a nice guy to lose to. It's always the most galling.
Played Traish a couple of times. It's been great every time.
Oh, the thing about playing him in real life too is, I think I've said it before, is that he just doesn't even look like he's thinking.
Yeah. I think we're 1 for 1, so we need to. I need to challenge him again the next time we're able to play in person.
Was that the game where you were on the clock though, and you made him push all his models around with his nose?
What? No, I lost because of the bloody idiots on the podcast. I asked them a question as to, can I do a particular thing to win the game? They said no, and then we found out after the game that I could have. And it was just the last turn. It was just picking up a token, and that was it. So, yeah. Jerks.
Yeah, that's it. I bet it was Selleck that cocked it up, wasn't it?
Yep. Yes.
So down
You
here,
can edit a video, but
he can edit a video, but apart from that, he's a bastard. So down at the bottom here, just underneath the blocking terrain, he's moved the zombies out that somehow survived the butchers, and he's setting up.
Or is that 7?
7, I think.
7.
Which, yeah, isn't far off, right? Because they hit on 4s.
Yeah. 18 attacks on 4s.
Mm.
And there's a bunch of 1s there. Yeah.
They won't be there next round. But now he's finally sent something around to support. So Jeff will have to make a choice.
And the Needlefangs did a surprising amount of damage for Needlefangs, I guess, against defense 5s and 5s.
Mm. Yeah, it is interesting bringing those Soul Reavers round, because
he's giving them up. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to achieve. Maybe take out one horde and that's it. I mean, because they can't kind of chew through anything they hit.
Yeah, so they're a good chance of taking the Butcher Horde out in one turn. But then at some point, oh no, the Doppelgangers are the one at the front, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. So Jeff hasn't really moved anything else to try and counter that. So it's just that Butcher Horde. Let's have a look at what are they? They are. That's the shooting unit behind the portal, isn't it? Yep. You don't want them in combat. This is the Void Lurker in defense there.
Mm.
But the Void Lurker can see over the top to the Soul Reaver infantry over here, the cavalry regiments.
Yeah, good point.
So if Justin charges that Butcher Horde, takes them out, what does Jeff do to respond? I mean, Jeff's got just about his entire army scoring now.
Yeah,
Jeff
he's playing the
like
game
he's
in
not
the bottom
pushing
half.
forward for the objective. He's starting to just turn around and counter those units, so he won't be scoring for a little while. We're at turn 3, and I don't think he's got the mobility to push them in the last turns over the line.
So this is what I'd like to have seen maybe earlier, is these whites moving over, because they've got the speed to be
Yeah,
able to
it
get
needed to
over to the
happen.
other side.
Yeah. What's Hugh saying here? If Jeff is the Achilles of Cow, Benson is the Paris. Doesn't work to hit anyone else in the heel, but for some reason he has managed to pull it off against the Traish.
How long is he taking to craft these things? Seriously, I reckon he's writing them out and going, will that work?
I don't know, Hugh's pretty quick-witted. He's good with that stuff. I'm terrible with the trash talk. It takes me ages to come back, and it's like 5 minutes too late.
That's it. I've got a really good oh no, hang on, it's moved on.
Yep. It's the next
So-
one.
Andrew Whitehead also commenting. He's another one that likes to play cow on easy mode by using undead. He likes the placement of the Soul Reavers, and he's a very good player with undead. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Tracy counters that, and whether Justin is going to account for the Void Lurker, or whether he's going to miss that.
He's missing it at the moment.
Mm.
That's it. It's only
Yeah.
oh no, I don't think he is actually. I think he's putting his unit so he can't fit the Void Lurker into the flank of the Soul Reaver infantry there.
Sure.
Yep. But what else could that Soul Reaver hit?
Yeah, but he'd need a 2 or more, probably, maybe even a 3 on the overrun to avoid the whites. Yeah, so now he's backing the whites up, so he's got to protect the rear.
Yeah, I think it would have been better if... Traish got a good army already, but if one of the Void Lurkers, instead of the Scripture, had the Madness, I think that's also 10 points.
Yeah,
Just
it
getting that
is.
extra inch on the charge would help him out more than the life edge, because he's not getting into combat, he's not being damaged.
Exactly. And an extra inch is never not useful, right?
Yeah. Always.
Depends on your use. I have to admit, I like the idea of him being. I use a Julius a lot, and I like using Julius as I'll throw him in front to a position where you can charge him, but you're not going to be able to get away from him. And if you charge him, you're going to be hindered, and you're going to be hitting something that's defense 6. So if he's doing the similar kind of thing with the Void Lurker, it's good to have the regen plus the life leech to mean that even if you do damage him, he's going to be able to take a lot of that damage back and then hold you in place where something else gets around you. They're good blockers.
I just feel personally, life leech you have to be damaged first off, and then you have to get in combat. So for that 10 points, you might be getting 1, maybe 2, because you're not getting into combat constantly for each round of combat, for each turn of the game.
Well, and the Madness, it powers it up significantly defensively as well, doesn't it? Not only offensively, but
And that threat
just
range
gives you
just
that.
increase. Yeah. Man, I'm getting through this bottle.
I can hear that quite regularly
Hold
now.
on.
Right?
Give us a brand. What is that? What is that?
Saturday night. Yay.
No.
Is this the final game of the tournament? Or is
Yeah.
there still more to play?
There's
There's more to play at this top table. Give us the brand. Come on, Benson. Show us what you're drinking.
We got Penfolds.
Oh, Penfold. And then, I'm rotating the wrong way. I'm quite. There we go.
Covering it with your hand.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on a sec.
If it now, it'll be flagged by YouTube for sure.
I'm keeping it safe with
It's
just
too late
coffee.
now.
Coffee forward.
Hugh's got it right with Undead, that's for sure. Undead deserve to be nerfed.
Yeah, but which Lance Armstrong
I'm a
is that,
classy
though?
person.
Right?
It's
is
very
that
expensive port. That's what it is. That's what I'm drinking.
Is that Lance Armstrong? With drugs or without? That's the question. So all we need to do is just take the drugs out of Undead, and they'll be exactly where they need to be. Yeah.
And now be hit back to normal.
That'll get us a copyright strike somewhere on YouTube, won't it? That one.
It'd be pretty swift with a nutful of steroids. So he has currently left the rear of the Soul Reaver infantry open after all.
Oh no!
After all that, we did a fair bit of repositioning there, and he's decided to leave it open. So, which would obviously, the Void Lurker would be open to a surge from the whites, but you'd reposition so you were taking that in the front, I guess.
You could reposition
getting-
as much as you could.
Well, plus you're trading 3 unit strength for 1, so it's not a bad option for Traish if he wants to take it.
Yeah.
Even that Traish will be on turn 4 next turn, right?
Yes, he went first.
Yeah. So at the time, it's probably late enough that he could start trading some unit strength if he really wanted to.
What's 1 unit strength compared to 3, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So will he take it off though? He's only hitting the flank of the Soul Reaver.
Is he?
Yeah, he's only hitting the flank.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
But that's still 20 attacks, isn't it? Hitting on.
And will he fit in the flank? I assume he will.
He wasn't fitting in the flank before, but since he's moved the central Rev troop, then
It looks like
So the base is 3 inches, so you just got to look up into that red line on UV. So
there you go.
he will be
So
able
he's
to-
on 3 inches, easy.
You feel smart.
The other thing is he would be he would be countered from every side, so he would be going. It would be a suicide mission, I think. But taking you 3 unit strength is going to be
So
massive.
what would that be? 20 attacks on 3s and 2s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thunderous one, so it's 3s. Yep, 3s and
Yeah.
2s.
Yeah. So what's that? That's 2/3 hitting. Yeah.
About
Say
11,
Yeah.
I think.
13,
13, 14. And then, about 11 wounds. Yep. Yeah, so he's definitely not guaranteed to go through them by any stretch. So I think he's unlikely to take it.
Traish doesn't do that. I would.
No. Yeah. So would I. I see something like that, and I'm like,
Go for it. Yeah. Red mist. Yeah.
who pushed my button?
So is Justin's? I mean, we're at turn 3. Has Justin's catapults done anything significant yet?
3 damage on the portal.
So 6 shots, and that's it. I suppose he's hitting
All right.
6s. So 1 out of
You
the,
obviously
out of the
regretted
6
his
shots.
guy. It's retracted it.
Yeah. This is the reason why war machines aren't broken. All right, if you can't roll a 5 or a 6, you're screwed.
Croja, are you wearing pajama pants? Did I spy that?
Yeah, I am wearing pajama pants. So I actually
Then.
just spoiled the illusion of no pants. Sorry. Hey,
Mm.
come on, man. It's got to pass 10 at night. I want to be comfy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I've got a robe wrapped around me. Nice big fat fluffy robe.
This chat has deteriorated far quicker than I was expecting it to. I'll tell you that now.
It's the port. It's the port.
Yeah. Remember, they only loosen the inhibitions. They don't give you the words in your mouth. I'm just saying.
So Sean MC, he's sayings like sayings that I live by. Abs on a skinny dude is like tits on a fat chick. Not as impressive an achievement. I guess I should add to that playing undead and winning cow tournaments.
Where was
Not
that?
as impressive.
I think my YouTube has stopped refreshing.
There goes the cork again. All right.
It's a great sound. Look,
It is, isn't it?
let's do that again. Here we go. For all the follies out there.
No,
Hit
you're
hit
just
record
you're just
now.
teasing us now, aren't you? Every time has to be a swig. So looking at it on here, at the moment, unit strength wise, Justin's got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 11 into the opposing side, but Jeff has got 9 with the hordes of butchers. The doppelgangers, are they 2 or 3?
There'd be 3, I think,
doppelgangers-
based on
Yeah.
points. They're not cheap enough to
Regiment.
be 2. Yeah. So it'd be 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. He's already got 14 on that side. Oh, and then the needle fangs.
15, 16, and the
Yeah.
and you could argue easily that that's the portal in there as well. So he's
Yeah,
17
so
already,
17 already on that side
Plus-
of the board.
plus another 4, 6 to come. So he could go up to 23 quite easily.
Mm. And this is the real strength of Traish's list building. People say that
Yeah.
Kings of War isn't really a list building game, but when you can pick something to match your style, and Traish's got this style down pat.
I have spent so many work hours just building lists.
Yeah, I think it's still.
You-
I'd certainly build lots of crap lists.
Yep.
I hope none of your work colleagues watch this. I'll tell you that now.
I'm my own boss, so it doesn't matter. Hey, staff. All right, listen, work time.
Okay, so I guess we can just count out those whites. They're going. Two
They're
hordes of
going
witches
to
coming
at some
in.
point, whether it's this turn or next. So we confirmed this is 4, right? Not his 5. Yeah, Traish is
Yeah,
4.
this is 4. Yeah.
So we're over the halfway point.
So he's chosen to go back into the zombies, and he should theoretically take that off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess he's going to try and hope that the butchers make it through a Soul Reaver charge.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. What's he doing with his Void Lurker?
I'm going to note that down.
Thank you, Benson. Your folly just made me both more drunk and more stupid. Hopefully King's War is like... No worries.
So he's gone up. I assume that's mostly to block line of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just making a note, just seeing if he'd seen the flank onto the Reavers.
Now, if I
'Cause
was
we're looking
Traish,
at-
I would probably just wait one more turn, or no, maybe now's the time, but just to get that Void Lurker up the top and just zip it over to the right side of the map. Get it out of the way and start threatening the rear, so he has to kind of ease up, and then maybe in the last turn take a regiment out for extra superiority with the unit strength.
So somewhere down here, is it? You're kind of thinking?
Yeah. So
And then
it'll be dependent on that Necromancer Surge if he can get it, but I think he'll be able to survive a charge and still push through.
yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't think the whites will have enough movement if he places him this kind of side of the hill to get there.
It'd have to be a massive surge roll.
Yeah, and he's only Surge 6, isn't he? The Necromancer.
So sorry, I was looking at my other screen. Where are you suggesting dropping him?
So
Just beside the right side of the hill.
Oh, right
Kinda
over
down
there.
here.
And yeah, Surge 6.
I think he'd also fit in between the worm, and he could get to an outer sight potentially of that left-hand cav troop if he wanted to go back towards the opposite side.
Yeah, he'd
but
be
he would-
giving himself a.
He would cop. He'd cop those cav in the flank, but again, he'd survive that probably. Hitting on 4s.
So I think Jeff is thinking the right way in terms of blocking this Rev King on Worm, because he was threatening taking out maybe some of the unit strength down in the down here because he'd had a free reign. But
Yeah. And those Needlefangs and Butchers haven't moved yet, have they? The Flesh Rippers.
yeah, the interesting thing is, does he have? I can't. Oh no, he's put the arc there to see what he can see. Yeah.
It's a good position for that worm. That's where you want it.
It's just a turn or two late, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah. But it's quite difficult because Jeff was so bunched up. There was just no area to move.
Is this where you come to deployment, etc.? We talked that there was only one extra unit, wasn't there? Was it one extra unit for Jeff to deploy?
Yeah.
So, having seen what Jeff was deploying, do you think it would have made more sense, instead of having the dragon and the whites over here, if he'd have just had the dragon and the whites over here, right? It's a subtle change, but would have made a massive difference to how this game would have played out.
That white horde wouldn't be stuck there and just getting eaten up. That dragon would be able to threaten so much more, so much faster. So it would have been a bit better possession, a much better position there.
So I guess that's one of the things you have to kind of ask the guys once they've set up. So when they come over about the setup, because why would you have the white horde over here if there's nothing that it can really charge? Because all its targets are over here.
Yeah.
Well, and we didn't get to do that, did we, Jonathan? Because you buggered us up.
So Hugh has a serious question. He asks, have you guys considered commentating for Cow Tournament on Tabletop Simulator instead of UB?
No one good plays on there.
The quality of the graphics are better, aren't they? But I've never seen a game played.
So much more
Never seen it
aesthetically
played.
pleasing. Because I played in a recent, I don't know, it could have been months ago. It's COVID, everything blows together. But played a tournament on Tabletop Simulator, and it works quite well. The way that Carl Booth has set it all up, so it's quite functional and much prettier. There is a bit of jank, like the 3D jank things happen, but yeah, I think it looks a lot better. Certainly.
Is the issue the image though? Is that what you're concerned about when watching these videos, or is it something more of a case of the kind of the speed and the kind of like thought process that goes into it? I think one of the things is that we don't know what their plan was from the start. It'd been interesting to know what they were thinking before they deployed and after they deployed.
I think he just likes to be immersed.
Yeah.
He's an immersive guy.
And I like playing on Tabletop Simulator. I think it's a really good system for Kings of War. It feels much more like an actual war game. A tabletop war game. I guess it's as good as you're going to get without being in person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Have you guys managed to get back to play some in-person games yet?
No, unfortunately. All my mates are down in Melbourne, which is like completely shut down, and I'm out in rural Victoria. So I've got a bit of freedom, but I still can't go and see my gaming buddies.
Yeah, I have. We haven't had a case for months where I am. So we're pretty much
Australian Capital Territory.
Yeah,
small enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Besides, basically it's social distancing only and indoor restrictions. Otherwise, we're pretty much back to normal.
Have you managed to get a game, Thomas? I don't know what it's like in Norway. Have you managed to get some chance to get up to gaming clubs?
I guess I could have had the chance, but I've not done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But now the infection is on the rise again, so probably not going to take that risk.
I'm fed up of waves, I'll tell you that now. He's just... now people are going to start talking about third wave. It's gone on so long, but there we go. We've managed to get some games in. And it's really interesting actually going back to playing in real life, because you can't just move units. You know how it is when you go on UB, you just go, right, I'll put that there. No, it doesn't work, I'll put it back. Your opponent looks at you funny when you go, oh, damn, I've now messed it up completely.
You're looking for a button near your right hand. Where's undo?
Where's the undo?
Yeah.
There's so much less lag, though. It's great.
What do you mean I have to check angles? Surely you just press on the unit and it tells you, right? What's going on?
So we've seen here basically Traishy's moved everything out of range and line of sight.
Yep.
Except for the Void Lurker. So he will maintain all his unit strength there, and he's threatening the rear. So if he decides to go into the Void Lurker, he'll risk Needlefangs in the rear.
It's interesting. The cavalry unit here could do a spin and charge, possibly, or even a rear charge onto that Void Lurker.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned with before. It's about that surge.
And it'll come off a hill.
Yeah, it will come off a hill.
Yeah, because it gets onto it and then surges off to it, yeah.
Yeah, it won't matter anyway because they're Def 4, actually.
Yeah.
So.
It's a needless throwaway, I think, on that one. He would have been better off just slightly over here.
SARS-CoV-2 cases,
He couldn't hit undo yet.
So
yes, true.
Can we confirm if either of these players are stream sniping, so they're like tapping in and hearing what we're saying and getting their tips and advice? Because we are top table players, aren't we?
That's it. Could easily do, but what advantage are they getting from it? Obviously, they've ignored all our advice so far. Right?
I don't know. I picked that Void Lurker on the far side there on the hill.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, that's true. It is true.
Yeah, but it could be a shit.
Oh, you.
Oh, no.
It could have been his worst decision all game. There we go.
We'll see. Yeah. This is getting very adult, isn't it? Well, I suppose it's late night for us. It's 10:30. Kids shouldn't be in bed.
Kids should be in bed.
The deployment is like intercourse. You've got to be deliberate and take it slow. If you bugger it up, it's embarrassing for at least the next hour and a half. Yeah.
5 minutes for me. There we go.
It's not so embarrassing if they're used to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
Love. Oh, no, it's fine.
So Andrew Whitehead, Tracy's dealt with that RKOUGFW so well. I don't. That's the. That's
Your
the
Revenant King on great.
You did
That
that
is-
this turn and protect himself for that next. Yeah. Recurring
No, I agree.
off-
Andrew played that well.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we can see, I don't think Trashy's finished his turn yet. So he's ported in one of his old Centaur units to see how close he's running it with that Void Lurker.
So we can't just summon cavalry?
Well,
We're not in that
we
game.
just switched
Come on.
AOS. Yeah.
Clash of Kings preview, is it? No? Okay. This just in, Night Stalkers can summon Revencavs or whatever, Race Riders. Yeah.
Oh dear.
You heard it here first on Countercharge.
It's dash 28, but we'll go with it.
That's the joke. All right.
It's all those are the one.
Okay. So he's moved it back. Well, he's second guessing my decision. I don't know if that was wise, Traish.
Yeah. I think so I assume what he was checking there is, did the 90 degrees actually bring him into line, which it must have. Yeah.
It did, but right at the back corner. He would have needed a lucky surge, but I don't see Jeff as being one of those people who risks
No,
anything.
he doesn't risk it, no.
How many, do you know how many inches by the time they moved 8?
It's a 6-inch surge.
It would
No,
have been
but-
something along the lines of about a 3 or a 4, I'd have thought, to actually hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a bit too close for him.
Yes, he's going to keep saving it, it looks like.
Sean MC, that was an impressive and judicious character use in that statement, Andrew. Yeah. Yes.
So he's going to pivot back now and it'll be
Yeah,
sweet.
I'll pop it up only because it was harder to say than it should be.
You got to throw him a bone.
Baby. Why are you so delicious? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is good here. The way that this dragon has just been negated now makes a huge difference for the rest of the game, because
What's
you just
that
can't get
regiment?
around him.
What's that regiment of zombies doing?
This one here,
What's the plan there? Yeah.
he's ready to countercharge once. No,
Oh no, the countercharge of the zombies.
It's going to block
Yeah,
up the
I don't get
doppelgangers. Yeah.
Yeah, block off he's going to get there in about 4 turns. I don't know. I mean, I have to admit, I think again, I'm just coming back to this experience thing. Is you can tell that Justin's kind of like reacting, whereas Jeff has his plan.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
what's happening is a bit more piecemeal reaction from Justin, whereas a concentrated effort to go one way or the other would have been a better solution.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking that potentially turn 2, it might have been a better option to sacrifice his shooting turn 2 and get those balefires facing towards the left.
Yeah, just skip a turn of
Because
shooting and make sure he can.
Traish
yeah.
was always going towards the left. So now, instead of having an option of taking things off late game, he's really got nothing there.
Can he hit the Void Lurker still?
He
He
can.
should be able to see because of the height.
And
But
he's a Void Lurker, but still, like if he'd taken turn 2, then
the
he would
Void
have had
Lurker's
two-
not scoring at the moment.
Yeah.
He can though very easily. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I think he's happy to save it, right? It's
But then
'cause he's
again,
played-
like he should have just turned those and started aiming for butchers because they should be
totally, that's what I
take
mean.
off with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he only had height 1 stuff of his there, so he would have been shooting them for the next 4 turns.
Yep. Still 6s, but if he's lucky.
So Trashy, what's he rolling? 24 attacks.
That's the needle fangs in the bottom there again. Only
He's
1
got
damage.
another.
He got away with that. If he'd have
That's all he
failed that, imagine if he had failed that as
That's
well.
fine.
Those guys would have been had a free reign, wouldn't they?
5s and 5s. Yeah. Well, what could he have done with those whites if they were able to fly?
They'd have
I
charged
guess
into
the-
this butcher flesh ripper at the top there, possibly, or the needle fangs.
He'd be hitting the flank. Ooh, yeah, it'd be close. Maybe not.
6-12. He wouldn't get the butcher.
You could get
Because sorry, they're speed 8,
16.
those ones. Yes.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He probably just...
But could he fit because of those needle fangs being on a weirdo angle?
First blood. First blood.
We have a unit taken off. There's no bonus points for first blood, is there?
I don't think so. You'd have to check. But it's crazy that we're in turn 4, and that's the first unit to go down. But that just goes to show it's working to Jeff's plan. His plan was never to engage him.
So he's still in the running to get that bonus point for killing less than 500 at the moment.
Yeah. And honestly, so when you see, if you went back into tabletop and looked at a lot of Jeff's tournaments, he might be in the top 3 on battle points, but he'll be somewhere about middle of the table on attrition.
Attrition, yeah.
Often, yeah.
I find I'm like that as well, because you just play the objective. You just make sure that you win. You don't have to kill everything. You don't need that red mist.
Listen to
It
you.
just means he's very
comparing
focused.
yourself
He's
to the
very
great man.
focused.
Yeah, me and the great man, we're the same.
No, it's all right. I understand.
Oh, I tell you what, I haven't been doing. I haven't been doing the turns, have I? Oh dear.
Another fail.
Maybe it's just my armies that I
joining you for
build
your
that-
first and last turn at host, Jonathan.
Couldn't get the thing started. Can't remember the turn.
Right, I'm off to get the beer now. It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, I think my low attrition is due to my list not being very good and not being able to kill stuff.
I've tried. So your tactic was to kill stuff. It just never worked. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I know. I just have to play for the objective, and I try. It just doesn't work to kill the army. Yeah.
I was looking at the results. Justin has played some pretty good. I think he played the last round with Stephen Devonish. I think, and
Yeah, Steve's pretty good.
he is a good player. So he's done well to get past him. I was trying to remember who else he's actually ended up playing against, but I saw the results were very similar. So it wasn't as if either of them were having any big results. They were just consistent all the way through. And looking at some of Justin's play on here, he's got some good awareness of charge arcs, etc. But I think what Jeff is doing the thing that the really good Kings of War players do, is just not charge when he doesn't need to. He's just constantly keeping it at his range, and only getting into a combat where it's a guarantee for him, rather than being a case of throwing it away. I mean, case in point is why there's a Void Lurker over here facing the wrong way. Just
Yeah, so going back, so Justin won 22-9 against Stephen. And before he played Gilbert, the turn.
He's won well. He's done well so far. Yeah.
He's had big ones. I think it's not easy to see the results because Steve's been putting them in himself. Antonio Carrasco, and then this round 1 will be the hardest to find.
But it's a positive scoring system. So even if you lose and you get 9 points, that's representing killing a third of the army, or including killing the because it's hard to tell because you've obviously got the bonus points for killing living legends, titans, and monsters, etc. So 9 is not a bad score for a losing, but it's not an amazing one either. But 22 is an extra 7 points. So he's obviously got the bonus points in there, which is not easy to do.
So you'll have a bunch for the kill points, so maybe +3, +4, and that brings you up to 18, 19, and then 3 or 4. Yeah, he's been pretty solid for each game. Yeah.
We'll get the obligatory after that. There's some countries who didn't have their best players in this tournament, right?
Well, I wasn't playing, so obviously,
And we got to hand it to Justin. He's playing the best player in the world. Confirmed.
Anyway, Again, I'll just point to the amount of port you're drinking, so I'll let you off on that one. I think we
looks like
should have some
Justin's having a bit
inter-country
of trouble.
tournaments. That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Then there'd be no
So-
arguing. Yeah, he's having a bit of trouble. I think he's forgotten that he can just fly over the top of him, or be tempted just to charge him.
But
I
Traish has
suppose
got
he
a
has-
lot of vision everywhere. There's a lot of units that's kind of looking about, trying to make sure that he can cover just about everywhere so he can't run away too easily.
Yeah, he's going to struggle to get out of range from the Void Lurker and the Flesh Rippers at the bottom there.
So he's out of the Flesh Rippers now. That's basically the only place he can go, I think. But he's
I
still...
don't think so. I would be a bit more cavalier and maybe aim for somewhere like this here. Take a flank charge, but then still allow you to get past and kill another unit if need be. I don't know. Because he's got to kill units. He's got to get into Jeff's army. I mean, the other alternative was to land if he could have done somewhere like here, but I don't know if he'd have been able to reach that.
Has Justin put that dragon in the front of that Void Lurker? Just looking at, if you have to zoom in with the lines,
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
right.
close.
I don't
Certainly
think he
not.
could have done that anyway because he's only got a 90-degree turn because he's already used one to turn like that. So I think this is just a little bit of Justin's inexperience with it, I think.
And this is something that would not happen on the tabletop. There's no undo button.
You just have a base, wouldn't you, that would be constantly going...
Speaking of Stephen Devonish, he just joined the game in there. His ears must have been burning.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So
Well,
that's
somebody
got
told
him
me
out.
that, said I was a good player. I was, oh, good player, yeah.
Oh, Matt Croger asks, who's Drake Misfire? Well, Matt, Drake Misfire is Australia's premier Kings
No
of War
plugging,
podcast.
no plugging. I still think he's not manoeuvred that dragon quite right, but
He's in a lot of trouble with that spot. It was very difficult to kind of get out into a favourable position. At least he's not in the arc of that Void Lurker. But
yes,
oh, that Flesh Ripper, is he in range of that Flesh Ripper?
yeah, he is in the range of this one. This one is
this
out
the
of
case
arc.
where you want it so bad that you forget the rules?
Yeah.
Write that down, Jonathan.
Did you want it so bad?
Yeah. From Thomas.
Is it also at this point in time where Jeff goes, I'll let him off. It doesn't make a difference.
Also, I think he wants to cast Surge with his Revenant King. He's within 12 of the Revenant's base to base, but not from center.
So he would have to cheat to be able to do that. You're right.
Yeah. Do we want
Can
it that bad? Okay.
So Hugh's asking, hang on, Q-Dog, are you disputing that Traish is the best player in the world? What's next? Miniatures made from marshmallows?
Well, what is your criteria for proving that? Is he won a big international tournament?
Yeah,
Yet.
he did.
Which one? I don't know.
He may be winning this one as well. It was one not too long ago. I can't remember. I think it was a call to arms, maybe 2 or 3. I can't remember.
But then again, were all the better players taking part in it? Obviously, that's the important thing.
Yeah. Are definitely not the best Americans.
But it's true. It's hard to quantify. I mean, I know he has won one of the call to arms at least. And he looks like he's in a good position to win this one, and that's 60 players from across the world, isn't it? So it's hard to argue, but I don't have the stats to hand, and I don't think you do either.
What I'm looking at right now is just making sure, Jonathan, yep, you've got all reputable bookmarks, so that's good. Okay, well done. You know, there's been bookmark errors on YouTube before.
The bookmarks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been cow bookmark errors on YouTube before.
A bit of 4chan. What's that?
Yeah.
Ooh, there's some adult sites. Yes, I can see that.
So Justin's working his way through here. So down the bottom, he's taken on the butchers, which he really didn't have much other choice.
He's pivoted that way. He's got to commit.
So
Maybe he's get some
his
points
Soul
out.
Reavers in the middle. He's just turned them to face directly in the middle.
I mean, they can
It's kind of
fly,
like
so
he's hedging his bets each way there, I think. And yeah, I don't know.
Come on, we've got to come up with a plan how Justin can get back into this. There's got to be a way somehow that he's going to be able to.
I said he couldn't.
it's very difficult because that white horde down the bottom is gone, so that's unit strength out the window. We've got he might be able to recoup some from that Soul Reaver and Butcher fight there, but then those Soul Reavers are going to be what are they? I mean, all he's got is doppelgangers, but then they're doppelgangers.
Can the portal? The portal can't fight, can it?
Yeah, it can. I think it's got 3 attacks, if I remember.
3 attacks. Yeah,
3 attacks on 4s.
I think in retrospect, honestly, it was probably he needed to those balefires and hope to take off 1 unit of butchers and save most of his other stuff. You know, he really should have moved them, because I don't think even now he's only got 2 units of Rev Cav facing that Void Lurker. That Void Lurker is going to avoid them for the rest of the game easy. And then,
yeah, I mean, it's got to the point where he's positioned the rest of the army to counter. But what else is he going to be able to do? The Whites aren't going to be able to. They may be able to kill whoever kills the Soul Reavers, but then that's putting them into the bottom half. He would have been a good idea to have moved the Balefires up this turn, sacrifice a turn of shooting, because he's still got turn 5 and 6.
Yeah, Traish
possibly
to
7
them the next turn or the turn after. But is there much point of Traish going for them, because he's got stealthy across the board?
It's a long shot. We're looking at
strength.
ways we can. And admittedly, if he doesn't roll a 6 to hit anyway, it doesn't make a difference, does it? So,
so I assume Tracy's next turn, he's probably going to block the dragon again with his Void Lurker, and then he'll have to block up the Rev Cav troop with his Needle Fangs, which he won't mind, because that's, you know, just trading unit strength 1-on-1.
Yep.
And then he'll just probably move his butchers. Yeah. Well, he's basically he's just so close to winning now. He doesn't have to do a lot, Trashy. He's basically just got to keep that Rev Worm out of the game.
And he's doing that quite well so far. Okay, so he's
that unit hadn't moved. I didn't know that. Oh, he surged it. Right.
He surged it with the illegal moving worm, but we're not going to go into it. Yeah, I thought wasn't Traish in the last call to arms though, because he didn't win that one, did he?
No, took some weird lists in that one.
He is just a man. He's a brilliant man, but he is just a man.
Oh, those Balefires have done nothing all game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could argue that.
Needing to hit on 6s when you roll.
They hit turn 1 and that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So far.
Okay.
So he's weakened the doppelgangers as well, hasn't he? Is that right? Is he weakened the doppelgangers?
1 point, isn't that Cloak of Death? Yeah, that'll be the Cloak of Death. And weakened, I can't tell which one is. You'd think it's the doppelgangers. Why put on the portal? Maybe the Flesh Ripper? I don't know. I'll need to excuse myself for just a couple of moments, and I'll be back.
No worries. Yeah, so White's killed off Needle Fangs.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter how he reforms.
It doesn't so much. I mean, he can only get 2 units in anyway, can't he? So as long as he isn't exposing a flank. I mean, with the 4+ to hit, there's always a chance that one of these butchers misses, and if they don't kill the White Horde, then the White Horde will kill them back. Yeah, exactly. But
he'll move the out of the way.
You never know. UB dice, right? I've got the tags up here ready to go. It's going to make a big difference here whether he can get the Soul Reavers do take away the Butcher Horde. Because if he does, then he's in a good position.
Well, the right-hand butcher horde with the crown, the inspiring one, will probably end up in that pond, so it'll be hindered. So, the whites are, you're right with UB Dice. They could survive another round.
They could survive a round.
It won't make much difference to the end result.
If he can take a horde of butchers off, he's got a chance. It would have been better if the Balefires were in a position to maybe take another unit off. But even then, we're talking about taking 6 out of winning position when he's still got 23. That's already on that 22. They're already on the bottom half of the table. Oh, that is a terrible roll. That's
it's tough luck.
Where's the UB dice?
UB Dice
Well,
quick.
it's on 10 or 8 plus nerve, so it still happens.
That's just made an absolute.
Oh,
But even with the 3, he would have been. Oh no, he would have been on double ones. Yeah, that is harsh. Oh, dear.
If it wasn't over before, it is now.
Yeah, it's going to come down to those whites surviving. Maybe he's got a chance.
And the void lurker, as long as it survives, he will still. No, it won't be able to pivot and block up the thing, will it? Because it will no longer have fly.
It will be able to, because you would disengage, so you would withdraw an inch, and then you'd be able to turn and then move in front.
Yeah.
He's not getting any better with his UB dice, I think. But,
7 wins isn't bad, I reckon. Oh dear.
I'm going to do that again. He spent 4 turns getting to this position, and then the dice just smack him in the face. Okay. So, new plan. Get the.
Do we have a funeral death march overlay we could play over the top?
That's it. Just remove him from the game. Don't just give in, Justin. Just give in.
So he'll cop needle fangs in the flank up there. These needle fangs
are they in the flank?
Up the top. Sorry, of the Rev Cav.
Right. Yeah, over here. Yep.
So those are.
He could have done with a waiver against that.
He might triple charge. 2 butchers and a doppelganger down the bottom.
I have returned.
And the spectres. The spectres would be in the front. Would they fit though? The white hordes.
No, you're right.
Because they're not. They're only large infantry, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay. So it'll just be one.
Here we go.
Going one at a time.
Traish.
No.
Both in. It wouldn't make sense to go one at a time. What would be the point there?
Yeah, we're just saying. I think if he could get lucky with the 4 pluses to hit with those butcher hordes onto the whites, but it's going to have to be a barrel load of luck. One is hindered at least. One is hindered. But on average, you're going to be doing what 9 damage, aren't you? In total.
You missed the Solver Eva infantry not going through the butchers, Benson.
Yeah,
I didn't.
No. I think he got 15 hits and then 7 damage, didn't he, or something like that?
He got 10 damage and then rolled over and then rolled a 3.
Bugger.
No, they were already on 3, so we only got an extra 7 on top because they've been taken.
3. Sorry. Yep. Got ya.
Yeah, that's.
This is where you get Flesh Ripper into the flank, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Taylor Hannett, nice to see the old man in action. In parentheses, Jeff, the Chuck Norris of the game.
Chuck Norris.
Reportedly, Trash's boy.
Calls him every day to talk to listen to. That's his secret. Sharing lists and tactics.
He's a good-looking kid too, by the look of that profile pic.
Oh, so cute. The goodest of
Doesn't
sons.
fall too far from the tree.
So we're at. Isn't this turn 5?
Yeah, so this is top of 5
Right.
for
They need
Jeff.
to change that number in the top right.
It says top of 5, doesn't it?
On Dash 28 it does, but not within UB.
Yeah, we don't care about them. I'll be honest, Justin's probably still, his mind's probably going 100 miles an hour. How that?
Yeah, he's got a lot of things to think about.
What did I do wrong?
What he needs to do is start to blame the UB dice.
See, the
As
interesting
any
thing
good
is,
player would.
any good player, he can actually withdraw with this Void Lurker and still charge the worm for all his cheating.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he withdraws, he moves across this, to the side an inch and then charge. I think that's a pretty good move. But it opens his rear to a charge, and I don't think he's going to be able to take that dragon in one hit because he will be hindered because there's a wall there.
Yeah, so if you're going to lose him anyway, is there any point in charging? Just sit in front of him and, just...
Well, the only reason is you can use the Flesh Ripper at the bottom here to hold up the Knight or combine with the Needle Fangs, but then you're pushing it out of a scoring position. Although he's still got another turn. He's still got another turn as well.
Oh, he's going to double charge with the doppelgangers. And could they? Yeah, right. Oh, okay. Once the Butcher moved, they could see, of course.
No, they have to be able to see at the start.
It did
So
measure it before.
Yeah, at the start, if not the start of the turn.
You have to declare it at the start, and I think he probably could. I don't know. I can't remember what the opposition was, but as long as he saw the flank of the Soul Reavers.
Yeah. So I think the Butcher had to, once the Butcher had charged, because it's in different arcs, it's not the Butcher doesn't count in the multi-charge. So once the Butcher moved, he could see, and then he could declare a double charge in the front.
Oh, okay. I thought it was still like you declare with all three at the same time.
No, so the multi-charge is only relevant to the arc.
Okay. So yeah, if that's the case, then that's fine. Yeah.
Keep trying to zoom in on your screen, Jonathan.
What are you trying to look at?
No, I was just trying to zoom in just generally.
Right, so you're putting the cursor over the top, and why isn't it working?
Yeah, I'm zooming in.
I'm scrolling. What's wrong with this mouse? Come on. Right. Okay. So he's just consolidating his position, isn't he? I don't think he necessarily need to do that with the Needle Fangs, but there is one thing that can happen towards the end of a game, especially when you feel you're in so much control, is that you can start becoming complacent. I get the feeling that Traish doesn't necessarily do this, but is that something that could possibly happen?
Eye on the prize all the time. I haven't seen him be complacent anyway.
Okay,
No,
so
it's generally one of those things where if something looks like a mistake, it's not.
Oh, you've left me in charge range. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah. I could. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Design debate people like me and Benson.
Yeah.
Just gonna poke Thomas, make sure he's still alive.
What?
Right.
You managed to stay so still, Thomas.
Oh,
He's concentrating. You know, he'll come up with the word of wisdom that we've completely missed. Right.
Yeah.
Give
That's
me
my
a
thing.
minute, guys.
So, Hex, how's that faring?
It's been solid all game, I reckon. It's gone off. It's gone off at least twice. Oh.
And,
But they did
I
not
can
get
see,
the
I
pass
can,
that the Charlie
No.
needed it.
I can see the balance of power swinging from that spell. It's too good. Needs a nerf.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I guess it just seems it's a spell that on
It's an
balance.
anti-Morgoth spell. That's it.
Yeah, but it's also like things like Martyr's Prayer could work quite well. But realistically, it's not a value spell that goes well with balance, right? There's generally a better option. Unless you knew what you were going to, unless you're playing in your mate's garage and he's told you he's taking, free dwarfs with rocks and you assume he's going to take Martyr's Prayer or something. It's just not one of those ones that you see value in when you're building a balanced list generally, I don't reckon.
Just even then, if you wanted to go off, you're just going to cast the spell and take the hits. Just make sure you don't get hit by anything else.
Yeah, because there's no nerve roll from it, is there?
No. I feel like it's supposed to be a deterrent. It's just not working that way.
But what I think
So
is weird is it's not backed up by a character with lightning bolt or something to slide the wounded caster.
Yep.
And it's so easy to hide a small individual behind something so it can't get shot that next turn as well. Especially if it's trying to heal or surge or whatever. It's a larger unit. Yeah. Nah. Hex. Blah. Anyway.
Yeah, Andrew's thinking that Hex is going to become OP with Help His Rift. Maybe a better option for Hex would have been that, if it went off and you cast a spell the next turn, that it induces a nerve roll.
Yeah.
That would have been more of a deterrent than taking wounds, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just use it like the Hexcaster, where it causes damage like a lightning bolt anyway, or a better lightning bolt.
For now, it does.
What are you getting at?
Hit them with the Nerf bat. Hit them hard.
Okay, so what's Jeff rolling there? 7 dice.
That would be shooting, would it? From his specters?
I guess the regen on the Void Lurker.
Yeah, regen. Yeah.
Aha. Good
There we go. Mr.
That's why
Wise.
we've got him here. That's why we've got him here.
Boom. The one man concentrating.
So you only picked up 1 regen off that. Okay, yeah. That's about my
I'm tempted
regen
because I've got the
loss.
power to just tidy this up, do a little bit of like cleaning the tabletop. Doop-a-doop-doo.
So why
Okay.
hasn't Justin turned those balefires yet? Has he forgotten about them?
No, because he was shooting up at the Void Lurker over here, trying to pop him, but he's just not been successful because he's not rolled a 6. And I think at the moment he's now out of arc for both of them, so he's got the choice of manoeuvring in. He'll still maybe get 2 turns
Might get
shooting.
1 round, yeah, if it goes to a 7.
I didn't see the path that Flesh Ripper had to take up the top. Was he hindered? Do we know over the obstacle?
Flesh Ripper, he would
top of the wall.
have had to have turned and then gone the most direct route. So
I don't think he would have been hindered.
Don't you?
Yeah, I can't remember. It would have been
Because
close. There you go.
Yeah, I think he would have been because he would have had to have hit this corner here for the most direct route because he'd had to have turned.
But still, he's only hitting on 4s and 3s. Yeah, he should do at least 1 wound. He should ground him.
Yeah.
It looks like he's doing the hindered ones first, down the bottom. So
Mhm.
8 hits. They're crushed 2, aren't they? Yep. So 3
threes.
wounds.
So he's already on an 8 on the
9.
roll.
Halfway.
Are they brutal butchers? I can't remember.
I don't recall them being brutal.
Well, it doesn't really matter. He's got another 7, so he's on a double 1.
No, not brutal.
Oh,
Oh, that's
UV
got to be calling,
dice.
hasn't it?
But yeah,
The thing is, if he rolled slightly above average in terms of damage there, so he could have got away with it, but it has still been the percentages were low to survive there.
yes. But we knew that would happen. Okay, so what does he do with them?
He's going up to the Flesh Ripper. He's-
2 hits.
1 wound? No?
No,
Or is that a
that's the,
reroll? Must be the
reroll,
first one.
yep. Blade of
Yep, so
slashing.
one
There you
wound.
go then. What a damage. Yep.
And he's grounded it.
He's done his job.
Yeah, there's no way of him kind of backing off and angling either, apart to maybe hit the needle fangs. No, it's not going to happen.
Mm,
Because he'll lose his nimble now too.
yep. So 24 attacks into the flank of the Rev Cav, hitting
Hang
on
on, 4 or
5s.
5? 5s. Okay.
5s because it's Strider.
I mean, you know, we
And
shouldn't
fives,
laugh.
so
I
three
mean,
rounds.
that's just as effective as a scarecrow horde, isn't it? Let's put it that way. It's a scarecrow horde in your front.
Yep.
Is this the beast slayer one? Is
And
it?
then 5 hits only.
Mm-hmm. Hitting on, wounding on 3, so that's another 4.
4.
Or is this a reroll? Oh, that's a reroll. Does that one have the blade of? No, that's the Beast Slayer one, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we need a 7 to take them off.
Man, the troops are just so good.
So good. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Dread as well. Okay.
Ah, an 8. 6s then, yeah. UV dice, what have you got for us?
So much suspense.
Just roll the 2 damn dice, Jeff.
Stop cleaning up now, Traish. Roll your dice.
Oh, I love it.
What? Once?
Hey. Do we have a reroll?
That's all he needs.
No rerolls, I don't think.
Charlie Kelly, that's Jeff's. The King, yeah, he's gone.
Gone.
Mm.
Okay. So how
I mean,
will he reap? Yeah. So those Soul Reavers are currently in range of both.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I don't think he can get them out even by pivoting fancy.
No, so you're back
So you just
up.
move back. There you go.
I was going to say, you just go in reverse. Beep, beep.
Yep.
Void lurker reversing.
Okay, so Needlefangs, they can't get out even unless he rolls real high for that reverse. But I don't think that's a bad thing, giving them up, because... Oh, no, wait,
doesn't-
no. He's already scoring, so it doesn't matter.
Here cometh the end of the bottle.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think
I'll
I'll
get there too.
walk up
I
and
don't
down
have
in the
much
morning.
left. I've got this much left.
Nice.
It's been a great game.
Someone get that man a straw.
I'm just reading the comment here. Hang on.
What is that comment? Oh,
Gold. Definitely need a week to pass as a woman, that's for sure.
so for people just listening while they're painting and not watching, the comment reads, Traish is just at ease. 1, 2, you think for a second it's an unexpected pretty woman, but when you get closer you realise it's Matt in a wig.
I'm a lady. I wear ladies' things.
So he's smashing now into the Soul Reaver infantry. This is going to be...
Is it?
Yeah, it's-
25 attacks.
Remind me what stats Gobblendang is.
Gobblendangers.
Doppelgangers steal. So they take
Well,
the attack.
So it attacks the crushing
rules,
strength.
basically. Yeah, the crushing. Yeah.
So the melee, the amount of attacks and crushing strength.
yeah. He was weakened,
Perfect.
though, so that should be 8 damage.
Okay, so that's what that weakened was for. So he hasn't moved that.
I think he claimed it was on double ones. What do they have? 7... 15. Yeah, it would have been, he'd have been on
Yep.
16 damage, so it would have been double ones. Before you even put the Flesh Ripper in as well.
Yep. Okay, so Traish is taking him apart, and Justin just can't really retaliate in
Well,
kind.
it's just really been. I mean, honestly, besides the little things we've mentioned, there's been nothing he could really do about it all game. I think.
No, he was pushing it uphill. So I think now it's, for me, I would just be scrambling, trying to preserve as many points as I can.
Well, you think about it logically. Was he? I think the way they'd set up this, the only real problem is that he had the whites over in the bottom left-hand corner, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Because the dragon was able to get out of the way, but the whites were kind of stuck where they were. So if they'd have just switched sides, it wouldn't be so much of an issue. But what's happened is Jeff's stuck to his plan, whereas Justin's been maybe
He's trying to react, and it wasn't what needed to
Yeah,
happen.
and when he reacted, it was only like half a reaction, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you were going to react early,
Less
you had to go
focused.
all in or nothing.
Yeah.
if he'd realised what was going on, these zombies would be more over here, so they would be out of the game. The majority of his army would now be here, as far forward as he possibly could get them. And the whites would possibly be still fighting, maybe, or have moved slightly to the right-hand side, depending on where he was going. But I
I
think
think what's interesting. Yeah, sorry, John. Yeah.
no, crack on. I think I've talked enough.
Well, I think what's interesting when you look at, because we were talking about unit strength versus drops as well, right? And Traish only had one more drop. But once you take into account the 2 war machines, then per drop, Justin can afford to lose less units. Yeah, because he's got 2 drops there that are worth nothing.
Yep.
So that means every unit he lose relatively compared to Traish is
Much
even
more painful.
is even more.
Yeah. Thomas, do
Because
you
don't
think
forget
there's anything that Justin can do here?
Teach us what's what.
Roll exceptional dice.
Roll better, damn it! Roll better.
Yep, good point.
So he moved on to distance 5. So he's got this turn and another turn. I mean, his
I mean,
options are.
he could move that white horde into the flank of the needle fangs that are just underneath that forest. That gets him into a better position.
Can he?
Will it
Can
help?
reach those?
Probably not.
I don't think he can reach them, can he? He's got 14 on
12,
those guys.
13, 14. Oh, that's not the +1 thing. Nah, bugger.
Yeah, the plus
Just
one.
that then.
They died. He can get these. He can get the Soul Reavers into there. That's a dead needle fang unit either way.
Yep.
He can get the cavalry in, so the cavalry can get in and do a bit of damage. There is the temptation here because the zombies, the Soul Reavers, and the whites can get into these butchers here. So one of them could topple them over. Although it could be said, I'm not sure how good Charlie is, but Charlie, if he could do 2 points of damage, would only need a 5 to kill him.
Charlie is not that good.
He's not that good.
He's quite bad.
He's got the cloak of death, so if one of them could
That's all
actually
he's
get,
got.
he's got zombies could get in and do a point of damage. But you've seen Traish move the doppelgangers, so that the doppelgangers are giving flanks to both the Soul Reavers and the whites. So I don't think the whites can fit in because of that formation, that rock formation.
Easy mode. Andrew's got a suggestion. Red King on the bottom left, which is where he's saying needle fangs is disengage. What is he talking about there?
Rev King onto the bottom left needle fangs. Okay, so he hits the one near the weakened symbol. Using the +1. Using the one inch disengage. So is there range there? That's 18, so he can move back 1 inch. He should still be able to get in. Hits the rear of the needle fangs. That gets him into a better position.
So what
we
we're talking about,
fine.
He might. So he's saying. I think we got confused because he didn't use his super long letters instead of just Rev King. You know.
That initialism, yeah.
But yes, he's right. So he's talking about the greater worm disengaging and then going to the left-hand needle fangs.
He's on here.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got arc for those.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, definitely not. So even if he disengages and goes back 1 inch, it's not going
And he would got butchers anyway. What's interesting in these scoring systems where there's only positive scoring for kill is, I guess, you could, in theory, I mean, it won't help Justin, but take risks because it doesn't matter how much or how little you win the scenario by.
Yes, yeah. Kills are all dominant.
Yeah. Now let's have a look to see if Justin loses, whereabouts he'll be sitting. So I'll just bring up the current ladder and the points. Now, are there still other games to be played?
Yes.
So
the second table's tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, third and fourth before the
Okay.
tables were updated are to play today. So they're playing later on. We've had, I think, the fifth and sixth players go, so they've jumped to the top a little bit, but I think they're the only ones who have gone ahead.
Okay, so for those without tabletop.to access, we're just looking at the ladder here. So Justin is on 86 points. He's on number 7. Number 1 position is at 96 points. So there's a 10-point difference there. Jeff Traish is on 88, so there's only 2 points between them both. So I'll just click down just to see who else has got to play a game and see where they are in the position. So next we've got Jesse at position 13 on 78 points.
Do you want
So
to
there
share
is
that? I
a-
can probably share that, actually. Let's see if I can do that.
Stephen's yet to play as well.
No, I can't.
It's 1, 2. There's 8-point difference between Justin and Jesse. Where is Stephen?
No, he's down at 17th. What about AG? Has he played yet?
How many games is this? 5?
This is the fifth
Yeah.
round, yep.
Okay. Goodwin has played 5 rounds.
Okay.
So he is where he is now.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see a lot of shift in the standings. I think we're basically going to see whoever wins go to top. And it looks like then Charlie will maintain second and probably Antonio will maintain third. Certainly because Justin's not going to be getting a lot of points from this game.
Yep. And the next one down after Jesse looks like it's Javier. He is probably a bit too far. He's on 21st position at 70 points. So Justin should be fine where he is, even if he loses. But if he does lose and gets no other bonus points, that's an extra 5. That puts him up to 91, putting him into 5th position.
Okay.
So he needs to recoup a few points to get him up. He needs 94 points to get into 3rd.
How many do you think? How many things has he actually killed, though? I mean, he's
And so he's
I
on
can't see
86, 94. He needs 8
he's
points.
killed 1 unit of needle
he get
fang. So 1 unit of needle.
So he
fang.
might be getting the bonus point for not killing more than 500.
I like that bonus point.
Yeah, it helps.
Does it mean though
Yeah.
that there's a bracket where you can be less than 500, but as soon as you go over 500, you get a bonus point for going over 500? So there's a point between
Oh, right. So it's basically
whether you
nothing.
get the same number of points.
Yeah.
bonus
So
kill points.
really, it's going to be like less than 400.
If there's a sweet
So
spot,
there's
like,
no way
500
you
to about 600 is the sweet spot. I don't know.
So for kill point bonus, +1 is 345 to 744. So in between that range, you get 1 bonus. Above that to 1144 is +2. So if he kills between 500 and 345, he'll get 2 bonus points, but he needs an extra 1 to make the podium.
Yeah, so
Where
that's
does he get
probably
that?
that's a little bit of an anomaly in the scoring, isn't it?
I was going to say, so if he scores 500 to 700 points, he gets 1. But if he scores 345 to 500 points, he gets 2.
He gets 2. Yep. So if
So
he
we
can
point
focus
that
on
out in
killing
the chat.
individuals, maybe he'll get an
What
extra
can he
1.
kill to get that vote value? I mean, is that another 2 units of needle fangs, and then we're good, right?
Oh, yeah, I think he's got to focus on those characters so he can get a bonus point for the other character, but I don't know if he's going to be able to fit in to get them.
Yeah. That's all right. He's got
how many
the
Titans does
bots.
Justin got?
Play Bellcat bots. Just use those turn 6
Hmm.
or 666.
Got to use it at some point.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this is what I was. This is Tracy's previous turn movement with the Void Lurker is what I was talking about, is that, he can Justin's turned in the previous turn those Rev Cav, and there's just no way they can threaten really that Void Lurker effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd need a big surge to get to him, wouldn't they? What you're going to need to get at least a 5 to have a chance, 6 possibly, to actually get
I think
them.
Thomas is 100% correct here. Justin needs exceptional dice rolls, exceptional luck.
Just roll good dice, come on.
We'll have a new section of Dash 28 called Tactics from Tom. Just roll good dice.
The number one tactic that most players need to learn is to roll exceptional dice. The be-all and end-all.
I guess you all seen the meme from Elliot. It's better to be lucky than good.
Yes. Yeah.
If only.
So it's a strong theory about rolling exceptional dice.
We need to do a special segment with Andrew Goodman on how to roll 5/6s with heavy mortars. He's very good at it. Or 6s when he needs it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what...
Here's the Alpha Strike.
Yeah, I was
So Rev Cav and zombies into the butchers.
Imagine if he double ones this. Seriously, we want a camera in his home.
If he doubles on this and that breaks his heart, I don't know if he's been playing the game, but
he'd probably quit.
Yeah, that's it. He's got with the cavalry, he's got 6 unit strength at the moment in Tracy's half, which he's unlikely to lose at this stage, although the Void Lurker could take out one of those Revenant troops. To get Traish to below 6, he's going to have to kill at least 1 or 2 hordes of butchers, the regiments, all the all the needle fangs, the flesh rippers. Oh, and the other Void Lurker and the portal. They just can't do it, and I don't. The zombies going in, I'd have thought the zombies going upwards, right? They're not doing anything there because they're not going to cause enough damage to push them over to a double one. They're not going to be able to kill any of the other units out here because he's not even going to be able to kill the needle fangs if he charges them, unless he's incredibly.
For the pack, the player's pack, it doesn't matter about the difference between scenario points that you score. It's all about the kill is the bonus. So moving them up, he's not going to win, so what does it matter for him? Which is interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
But what are the zombies doing? It's just a wasted unit at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Addiction 1, I don't know.
Because zombies are that go-to kind of take objectives, walk into scoring zones, possibly chaff something, or release an option, and that's about it, isn't it? Apart from that. They're not damage dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's going to use them as chaff to protect his whites from the next turn, if there's a turn 7.
So what's Justin's plan now? What is he
take as many units as he can. Take as many units as he can.
Get that
Anything
bonus.
as those doppelgangers are going to cause huge amounts of damage against the Soul Reavers.
Yeah.
But again, does that matter? Because he's not going to. The negative points don't affect him, so it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be. Let's see what I can drag down with me. Hence why I think the whites have come over here as well. I don't know.
You realise he hasn't won, so he's just trying to get those bonus attrition points, kill points.
It just goes to show how important it is setup and use of your army. It doesn't matter how good your army is if you're not using it as well as you can. You're going to get up in positions like this, aren't you? Where you're going, I can't do anything. It's so frustrating.
Also, exceptional dice. You always got to factor in exceptional dice. Game changer.
Isn't that Trace's tactic is just being able to roll dice, isn't he? So that he gets as many units as he possibly can. He's rolling dice, he's got a chance.
So So it's a
He's
bit
going.
unfortunate
Not
with the particular
so far.
deployment, but yeah. He's done well so far, but I don't think Justin's going to be able to bring it back. So good on him for making it this far. So what's he measuring here? Range of
He's
the
trying-
catapults?
Arc,
Sight
I
and
think.
range. Mm.
I think because the arc doesn't quite extend. It's good. It's just not that good.
48.
Yes, he's going to be able to reach him.
Close. Yep.
He's in arc, and he can see him.
Yep. And it's on 6 damage. It's still quite the hill to climb.
But it's an easier chance to kill him than it is to kill one of the other units in one
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just going to put it out there that I'm very disappointed that my bae, Jonathan Fawkes, hasn't joined and commented so far. So if you put this back, you're dead to me.
So is it official? He's your bae?
Oh, it's always been official.
Okay. I just haven't seen the status update. The
Oh, okay.
relationship change. Okay, yeah. Wasn't sure if it's official. All right.
Oh,
so we've got
when it's going
weakness
wrong,
here,
it's going
failing.
really wrong.
Oh, no.
In for a penny, in for a pound. In the negative.
Oh dear. We'll say this, and then all of a sudden it'll be just being rolling hot dice. Ridiculous zombies will take out a unit of butchers.
Then we've got a game. But the
Oh, no,
butchers
so
are on
what-
10, so you'd think they're gone.
Oh, the first roll was weakness. Okay.
Yep.
So this is though. Doesn't matter.
Catapult 1. Misses. Catapult 2.
Oh,
misses.
one here.
Needs a 6, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, does
he's,
he?
stealthy.
Oh, stealthy. Of course.
The things ignore.
Oh, that's again. There's another. God damn it!
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost hard to watch.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's-
he only needs a 4. He only needs a 10 twice to kill the Flesh Ripper. Oh.
Yeah. Nope.
If any consolation, even if it had caused 8 damage, it wasn't enough. So yin yang.
Poor bugger. It must be frustrating.
Andrew, you got to get that comment up when it comes through. Oh no, it has come through.
Justin was always the underdog taking undead. Very high skill army without a lot of strengths. Look forward to their buffs in Clash of Kings.
Yeah.
I have it on good
It's
authority.
rolling
Most units are
exceptionally
getting nimble.
bad dice.
He's
Yeah.
doing an amazing job at rolling bad dice. I mean, he really isn't taking that tactic to heart at all, is he? All right. In this instance, it probably doesn't actually matter, but
Mm.
Soul
he's done
Reaver's
enough
doing
now.
6 damage is it's below par. Below par.
It's hit well with the zombies.
Oh, that's it. This is where they
Oh,
make
super
up.
And 2 damage.
Yeah.
Devastated.
So yeah,
Which will come important now.
No, he's buggered. Even if it's devastated, he's got doppelgangers in the flank.
Oh,
Okay,
there you
okay.
go.
We have a point there. That's another unit.
well, he wants to
On the
hit. Maybe
board,
someone
Justin.
should advise him of the sweet spot.
Yeah. How many points is he on at the moment? Who's got the list
Hey,
to hand?
yeah.
Got
Don't
one
kill
needle
him.
fangs, one butchers. Anything else? I don't think he's got anything else, has he?
Daniel Bird commenting. Hey, Dan.
Yeah. Where you been, Dan? Thought you'd been in
Fantastic
bed.
painter. For anyone listening.
It's all the Americans in bed still, aren't they? They haven't woken up
Yeah.
yet. We were only lucky that one managed to wake up early enough to get us on.
Yeah. I know. We did reach a game high of 18 viewers.
Yes.
Hugh again. I've heard all units are getting +1 to win against Traish in Clash of Kings. For Justin, if only this one was a little later in the year.
+1 to win. +1 to
I
win.
feel
what?
like Traish has done well enough to earn an honorary spot on a magical artifact or something,
Oh,
or a
I
negative
actually,
effect on a board.
I actually have a prayer area dedicated to Traish in my home.
Oh, you've got a
I think-
shrine
I
here.
think-
Nice.
Yeah,
I've
a
got a
little
good
shrine.
one. I've got a good one for a Traish one. Is that you get +1 movement if you're not charging.
Yeah. It's a little. I've got an idol of Traish, little bald postman.
He's very inspiring.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
light a candle to
Right.
him every night.
Turn 6. What? I don't want to ask.
Am
I
I
just
missing
hope
something in
that-
the comments?
Justin can take it. Ugh. So what has he got left? He's got White Horde, 2 Rev Cav, Troops, Rev Regiment, and your zombies.
See, look at that. He's given a flank to the butchers just to tempt them in, isn't he?
Hmm.
I don't know. It's going to be. I mean, they don't. The doppelgangers don't really need it, do they? I mean, what they're going to cause 10 to 12 damage by themselves, plus a flesh ripper. So, unless the Soul Reaver Cav get lucky, are they inspired at the moment? They are just about, I think.
Then, is the special fancy fella a inspiring character?
No, you've got the little standard bearer hiding behind that too.
Okay, right. And the pack says he is not inspiring. It's just that Cloak of Death or Dread. Okay.
Just tidying up
Yeah.
for him again. There we go.
Sorry, Justin. Alright, so that's Voidlurker still in range and arc. Is he? Of the catapult?
I don't think he's in
Oh,
arc.
This is Traish is 6. Alright, yeah, so he shouldn't be next this turn.
Yeah. So Justin might have only one more turn to endure.
Okay, Newbie Dice commenting, just saying hi. Started watching from turn 4, so not very sure what's going on. Traish is winning Invade, I guess. Yeah. Yes, he is.
Yes, yeah. This is Invade. You had Traish starting at the top, so Jeff starting at the top and Justin at the bottom, and all we've had is Jeff move the majority of his army straight into Justin's half, take a few units out, and just leave him in a commanding position.
And I think more importantly, just the way that they've deployed Jeff being up top, he was mostly on the left side of the board, like on the left side of this rock formation, whereas Justin was mostly on the right side. So they've kind of done this weird yin-yang thing, and Justin didn't fare too well in the combat.
And so Newbie Das is of course Paige Neo. So Paige, given that you're now watching, I'll just draw your attention to that we're at turn 6 and only 2 hours 12, not 4 hours 12.
Yeah.
It should be pointed out we've only actually done 5 turns as well, though.
Yeah, but like quite quick, you know. We'd be at end of turn 2 with Paige.
But that's why we were supposed to have
harsh.
pops. But there we go. Yeah.
There's just not a lot that Justin can do about this.
No.
Got nothing really that he can charge apart from that white, and
No,
I mean, the
and
zombies
that's
are gone, the zombies are gone.
And that's the thing about no scenario differential, right? It really actually at this point gives you barely anything to play for.
Yep.
So
You just
when
aim
there's
for the
only
kill.
points, yeah.
That one reality that Traish rolls 10 snakes. It's possible.
That is. Yeah. As long as you don't tell him about it, it's a possibility, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Because at the moment, these 4 units down here, or 6 units here, are winning the game. There's no way that Justin can win as long as these units are alive.
So what have we got on the table left for Justin in terms of unit strength? So we've got the troops are 1 unit strength each. The regiment is 3. The White Horde is 3, and I'm not going to count the Soul Reaver Cavalry zombies.
Yeah, they're not going to
Okay.
be able to make it. Let's put it that way.
So that's 8 in total.
No, and the Rev King. So
Rev
9.
King.
Oh, yeah, he's still up there.
Yep.
Oh, but the white
So-
and they're not currently scoring.
No. So the only scoring, he's got 6 scoring. And so Troshy's got a lot
The
more.
2 hordes and the 2 needle fangs, yeah, that's done it.
Yeah, so the 2 hordes on their own has him
Yep.
at equal. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the 4 other large infantry stroke Titan, they're just 4, so he just pushes them over. So as long as those ones aren't sacrificed, he wins. And don't forget, he can still move a Void Lurker into the mix as well.
So the only thing that Justin really can do is try and get more points, or maybe take out the individuals if he can get to them for that bonus
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Traish has more monsters than Titans, so that's another possible bonus point.
I'm not sure how that one works.
So you just got to kill more of that particular thing than the other. So Justin
Okay.
has the Rev King, and I think that's it.
So if he's
Whereas
got to kill,
Traish has got the Void Lurkers that he can get.
so if he kills the Void Lurker, he'll be 1 up, won't he? Is that right?
Yep, and we'll get that bonus point. But then that'll probably push him over the 500 point limit thing. That's the bonus point for that one.
It's a sweet spot.
Come on, one of you is supposed to be working out how many points he's actually got, so we know we can at least. Well, the thing is,
I never agreed to work.
oh,
It's the host job.
all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get onto it.
Juggle everything.
I don't call you the heavy lifter for nothing.
Why do I sign up for this?
Matt and I are the flavour.
The spice. There we go.
What flavour would you be, Benson?
Delicious, that's what I'd be.
Oh, yeah. Damn straight.
Bloody delicious.
Bloody delicious.
And then make you feel a bit sick afterwards. Rosewater, that seems like a thing.
Rosewater? What are you
I don't
talking
know.
about?
Flavour.
Oh, flavour. Okay. I'd already moved on in my head. Okay.
Well, the with the butchers
For some-
and the needlefangs, he's got 285. So the sweet spot would probably be another unit of needlefangs. So as long as he gets that, the zombies in a prime position here, obviously.
Then what did we say? He's got to get between 340 and what to get 2 points?
500.
Okay.
So
It's not a big area to play with.
but that's
And
it.
what
I mean,
are
the
needlefangs?
whites can take out the needlefangs. They're 80. So if he takes out a needlefang unit with that white unit, yeah,
Hey!
he's
It
obviously
won't put him
streaks-
into third, though. It'll put
That's
him
what you
like
do.
at fourth.
Maybe.
Man, this is another game in itself. Trying to get that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Not enough for us, let alone for them while they're playing.
Yeah.
I reckon at this point, Benson is pretty well marinated in ball.
Oh, so
You would
marinated. What is that
definitely
done?
be more flavoured right now.
I think
When I suggested flavour, though, I immediately thought, what flavoured chips
Oh.
is what I
Oh.
went for. Not any flavour. I was actually thinking in chips terms.
Honey sweet chicken.
Interesting.
Mm.
Interesting choice.
it'll be pickled onion monster munch. Surely that's the way.
Yeah, I was going old school for myself and thinking light and tangy.
Oh, yeah? I don't know. I don't think I'm that tangy, but anyway, I'm pretty light.
No, if I'm talking about for myself.
Oh, for
I
yourself?
can,
Okay.
I can see the honey soy in you, that's for sure. Especially after all that port.
Alright, so Traish has moved that Void Lurker down. He's probably going to take out a catapult in the next turn, if there is a 7. But otherwise, he's just another scoring unit, just forcing that win. Making sure that he can't do anything about it. Not that he could before.
What was that? 7 damage from the needlefangs on the zombies.
Defense 2, yeah, so he hit well. 24. Oh, it's on the flank, okay. Wasn't too bad, 8 hits and then 7. Yep, that's about right. Blink, blink.
Just, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's probably the better thing actually for Justin that they die, because then he may have been able to kill 2 units and then push him over that threshold.
Yeah. Yep. Now
Without
it's
realizing.
make sure that white can take out a Needlefang unit.
It's a fair trade.
If he goes to the doppelgangers, will that push him over? What are the
140.
No, so he's all right. He's all right. This is now going to come
Can
down
only
to
take
whether
one
he's
out,
using
though.
the right unit. Yeah.
I have a sneaky feeling he's not thinking about the sweet spot.
I know. But this is what
Mm.
you explain to him later. You realise if he'd just killed a Needlefang instead of the doppelgangers, he'd have been fine. Because he's got the Flesh Ripper at the top as well. That's another 120 points, 115 points.
I don't know if he's going to be taking that out unless he rolls exceptionally well.
Well, another 5-6 damage, and he's going to be rolling a 4 or 5, isn't he, to kill him? This one up at the top here.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
You've been seeing his rolling.
Daniel Bird, honey soy chicken chips are the bomb. Yes, they are. Thank you very much.
No, I'm not going to post that one. It's blatantly salt and vinegar. No, not hold the vinegar. Oh, take that off.
Andrew Whitehead, chip flavor after a double one. I'm salt and vinegar. Hold the vinegar. Yes, that rule makes many people very salty.
I don't know. I think it's still it's a valid rule to have, because
It is like Andrew and I have played a few games. I think maybe 2. I can't remember. Without the double one, just to see how it goes, and it does change the feel of the game. I hate the rule, but its absence does kind of diminish the game. So as much as I dislike it, it kind of needs to be there.
I love it.
It's yeah. I hate rolling it at the wrong time, which always seems to always happen.
I didn't realise he'd overrun with the Needlefangs here. He's what he's done is he's given him perfect opportunity just to get the sweet spot. Yes. Right. Yeah, there you go. There's the Soul Reaver regiment gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just quietly, I don't think we're going to be invited on again, Benson. There's a question directly from you about direct misfire.
Yes, since I'd
Yeah,
like to
who
know
does
who
the
does the
raps on
raps. I'm not sure exactly who it was. Select commissioned him, but we get the music done from Fiverr. I found that to be a good resource and put Select onto it, and he found that fella. So the last couple have been through Fiverr, and the latest one as well. I'm just not sure who
Interesting.
the
I think
exact artist is.
that's how Countercharge did their voiceovers as well. Was someone through Fiverr? Yeah, Fiverr
It's a good
seems to
service.
be.
It
make
is
that
hit and miss because
quite
you're dealing
cool
with
as
other
well.
people, but yeah.
I think we had a problem recently with redoing it because it used to say Mantica, changing it to Pannithor, but
Yep.
Rob couldn't remember who the guy was on Fiverr. So I had to do some serious searching to find him again.
And if it's been a long time as well, like they may not just be on Fiverr anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
think
You
for-
suggesting Traish does the raps. Big Fiverr spot.
The second change of the theme song, I was able to get the same fella. He wasn't on Fiverr. I emailed him, and then he came back on so he could do it for us.
Yeah,
So
right.
that was nice.
So here we have Justin going for some points. I assume it's hard. Okay, so he's gone for the.
Don't do it,
doppelganger.
Justin. You're going to be over the cap. The sweet
Yeah.
spot. You're missing it.
What is he? It's,
Does he
gonna
go
be-
over? Gangers?
Yeah, he does, because they're 140, so that's going to put him at 425.
Oh,
and
no
then
way.
if
He's still there.
If he kills
He can only kill that thing. He's not allowed to kill that Flesh Ripper up the top.
I can tell Justin's not a good lover. That sweet spot.
Oh dear lord. Anyway, so yeah, so he's got to either not kill one of those 2 units, and he's fine, because otherwise,
Yeah.
If he kills both
Maybe
units, he
dice.
ends up in
What
that
sweet
horrible,
spot?
horrible sweet. You need another
Yeah.
unit to die.
Horrible, only +1 instead of +2.
Crush, kill and destroy, pillage and plunder, invade. Yeah, red mist.
I think Paige has missed the spot. So Paige, there's a little anomaly in the scoring system where there's a little narrow gap of points killed where you would get 2 points and +2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, between 350 and 500 points, where if you stay in that sweet spot, under that you have to get another 250. And I don't think he's getting another 250.
I mean, if he gets 7 points, he's not going to be able to beat Stephen Devonish on the attrition, so that'll kick him down to 5th. Yeah.
All he's got to do is move his catapults forward, turn them 90 degrees, and then
Wait for 7.
turn 7, roll 4 6s,
Hope for 7.
right, and kill 2
That's it,
butcher
that's it.
hordes. You know,
4
that's all he's got to
sixes.
do. That's all
Easy
he's got
done.
to do.
We've already
Stop
laid
messing
it
about,
out
get on
for
with
him.
it.
It's his fault if he doesn't make it.
I mean, what are we going to ask them when they come back on? Because I think we're going to be consoling Justin a little bit, because he's probably going to have his nerf ride, and Jeff is probably going to be like, yeah, easy years.
Deployment?
Yeah, deployment I think is a question.
What was the thought process behind that White and Rev King positioning?
Yeah, and then also I think the subsequent turns with that, particularly that first or second turn, like pushing forward with the White Horde, putting it in range of things. Not that it really ended up being that way, but yeah, instead of just trying to get it away.
Yes, yeah. Once he realised what Jeff was doing, or did he realise what Jeff was doing? Because that's the clue. Did he realise that Jeff was just going for unit strength and not kills? He was going.
Do we have any?
Like to know...
Because Jeff really hasn't. I think Jeff's pretty much, when we've really nutted things out, we've kind of gone, yep, that's Jeff playing conservative for the scenario. There hasn't really been anything that seems a poor choice at all, has there?
The only thing we would question is whether he'd take the flank on the Soul Reavers with the Void Lurker, because it was an opportunity to take a unit off the board. But he's used it. He used it better to hold back the Revenant Worm. So the Revenant Worm wasn't coming in taking unit strength off him. So he stuck to his plan all the way through. He never got sidetracked by trying to kill things he didn't need to kill.
I would be interested to know why Justin chose to not roll better.
I love the seriousness you put into that as well. So, Justin, I mean, the crux of the matter is that you just didn't take that to hit at all, did you?
Yeah.
The opportunity was there. Why didn't you take it? Why didn't you roll those 6s? In those
Why'd
So
you
we all
go
just
east?
shake our heads at the same time and go, oh. This is what you learn when you play Kings of War for a while.
That's it. Pro strats.
I'm
right
kind
here.
of hoping at this point that it doesn't go to 7.
Yeah.
It's hard at this point not to be, because it's not a to and fro kind of game at this stage, is it? You know, we're not going to
He's already dead. Just
Yeah, like realistically, even if it went to 7, there's still nothing he can do.
But it's been turn 4 onwards, I think, has been the case, hasn't it? And I think with
it just
him,
solidifies Trash's points.
That would be an interesting question for Justin. At what point did he feel like the writing was on the wall? Yeah, like it'd be interesting as I mean, it doesn't mean much, but I haven't come across Justin's name before. But to know, like with his experience at Kings of War, how early he felt the writing was on the wall.
It's not rolling any better. Come on. Is that the dragon hitting 4 times, wounding twice, and failing to kill it? No, it's perfect. He's not killed it.
This was his plan. Good job, Justin.
Yeah, well done.
Master strats.
It's all part of the plan.
All right, so what combat have we got here? Which one is it doing? There's a lot
This is the
of templates there.
doppelgangers. A lot of
Okay.
doppelgangers.
So
But
threes
were they
and
nerfed?
threes.
So interesting description from Andrew Whitehead here. Rolling like a potato. I don't quite understand that.
Potatoes roll quite well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They are rounded. They are shaped to roll. I've
Maybe
dropped
more
potatoes off a
appropriate.
bench, and it has rolled quite a distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has Charlie got dread? No, Charlie.
Terrible
doesn't.
analogy, Andrew Whitehead.
Rolling like a sack of sand. There you go.
Oh crap!
Or a gelatinous
Okay.
cube.
Oh,
Double one.
Oh, no.
That was the crucial double one as well.
because
That
he
would have
needed those.
changed things
Yeah.
drastically.
No, he's missing out the sweet spot at the moment.
Yeah,
he's
he
only
is.
on 385 points. So because he's killed nothing, he's not,
He's not
got
getting that bonus. Poor bugger.
No, please
Oh,
don't go to
bugger. I think Justin needs a lie down. Yeah, there we go. Oh dear.
Good roll.
Oh.
GG, everyone. GG.
Yeah, that was the only good roll he made this game.
At least he finished with a good roll.
Yeah, for some, I think. Good game for some.
And there you
So,
have it. Jeffrey
there we go.
Traish, best player in the world, continues that position.
Trademark. There we go.
Believed by many people other than Jonathan Quayle.
Yeah, that's it. I need hard fact here, right? He's just giving me nothing.
Steve Devonish, someone buy Justin some real dice after this. I'm sure he rolls real dice quite well.
Real dice that roll like potatoes.
All right, so
In
just gonna
fact,
work out
just put
points.
some pips on a potato, roll the potatoes. Wow, that roll was just to add potato to injury.
I think somebody's obsessed with potatoes. I think
I know. Midnight they're hungry.
maybe you carve.
But it
the
is
dice
almost
out of
midnight here.
potatoes.
Hungry, it's getting towards
Is it almost midnight?
Speaking of, I better finish this bottle.
Already finished mine.
I
If
realised
we've
that the cork has
gone whiskey.
the cork's not gone back in. I've not been hearing it coming out. It's just been out
I'll
permanently.
it's got one more in it, so I'll leave it for you.
Ah, there you go.
Last week.
The sweet music.
I've been up since 5.
Oof.
Looking forward to it.
Committed. I like it. Unlike those American
Yeah,
guys.
double one for that last roll is icing on the cake. More like marzipan on the cake. No one likes marzipan.
Nobody likes me.
Some people like marzipan, otherwise they wouldn't sell it.
Crazy folk like marzipan. They like making stuff with it and then go to eat it and then it's just. Ugh. Anyway, so
What
we're getting the
complete
players in
regret.
here for a chat.
Yeah, I think they're just doing the point.
So that's going to be 5 minutes. So.
Oh,
All right, fine. In the meantime, here you go. Last one. Everyone,
Oh, I can't
write down.
massage
Here
your
you
head.
go.
on
Here you
big
go.
screen.
confused. Can't massage your head anymore.
Shush.
High 5.
Oh wait, hang on. No, wrong side. There you go. And
Very nice.
Oh, there you go.
So hold on, 285 points kill. Yep. So from Traish, he's just said it in the, and then Jeff killed 1025. So pretty low attrition game all
sorry,
around.
Justin.
And I think the only reason he got so high, Jeff, is that he was feeding his units piecemeal, wasn't he? So
Yep.
you ended
Wasn't
up with that.
wasn't giving much away at all.
Yeah, so he gets the mittens point. So we need to inform him that there was a sweet spot that he missed. Just to
We'll
rub.
probably do that at the end, right?
Yeah.
Just to, after he's had a chance to calm down a little bit, Come on, guys.
So
come
Daniel
on.
Bird
Get back to
asks,
the-
"What the hell is there to do to get up for in Canberra? Why are you up at 5 on a Saturday?
Work.
On a Saturday? Jeez.
And it's my quiet time
Bugger.
when the 1-year-old's still asleep.
All right,
Get the sound on.
here we go.
Here he is,
Hey, Justin.
the man with the dodgy dice. Oh, can you hear
is
us?
everybody frozen? Oh, yeah, you should be able to. Hello.
Justin.
I haven't crashed the stream, have we, doing this?
No. Oh, we can just hear you. Yeah, you're quite faint.
Right. Let me see if we can add.
Yes. I mean,
Hey, Tracey.
Okay, Traish, there
hey,
we go.
mate. Well, I get
Where's
to
your
see-
face?
Hey,
Where's your face?
I told you I'd be my normal, usual, good-looking self.
Yeah, true.
I
That
don't
is looking good for you. Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin the show like that.
Excellent. I can hear you.
Oh, Jason's gone. Okay.
Right. So, thank you very much for letting us watch that. That was tough.
Interesting.
I think that was tough. If we have to be completely honest, Justin, you put up a good fight, turn 1 and 2, and yeah, kind of went from there.
It crumbled. Yeah.
So, probably a good idea just to get from each of you what your kind of plan was going in.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin, probably best to start off with. How did you see the kind of like after the setup, and once you set up, how you saw the game kind of going?
Okay, yeah. So it was quite clear that we were playing either side of the board. I thought I could stall him on the left with whatever I had. Kind of couldn't go anywhere with the whites. It just everything kind of fell at every corner, unfortunately. I thought I could kind of get around the rock and start to expose some of his flanks, but and hold him up then on the left. But that was my plan, and didn't quite go to plan.
How much did you feel it kind of like, at what point did you feel it was kind of getting away from you a little bit?
So initially, when I charged my Soul Reavers into his butchers, I kind of thought with the 3 damage that was already on there that was a fair fight. There's always a risk, but I thought that okay, so I'm going to lose something here, but I've got enough to back up. So I had enough there to kind of back up any kind of counter charging. That failing, and then my left crumbling on my whites, it kind of got away with me. It got away from me pretty quickly. But we can live and learn from these lessons.
Well, we were just saying, Jeff has obviously got a lot of experience at the kind of top table. This is, I don't know how much experience you've had when you've got one game to win it. Is this, how much did that affect you?
It's completely new to me. As I said, my call to arms was actually the first tournament that I've ever entered. So that was, a learning curve as it was. And then I did another UB tournament. This is my 3rd one. So I haven't actually played a real life tournament yet. So it's actually quite a lot of experience.
Doing well.
Yeah, it's great to play some of the best people in the world, which Jeff clearly is, and to learn quite quickly the mistakes that you make. So it was an honour.
Speaking of that, there's a viewer question here for you, Tracey.
Yeah.
From Hugh, and it says, Tracey, as the best player in the world, do you feel sorry for your opponents?
Not confirmed yet. Not confirmed yet. Anyway, carry on.
No, I wouldn't confirm myself as best player in the world. Obviously, people like Tom Robinson, and there's a lot of great players, and I'm happy to be part of that group. But sorry, I probably felt a little bit sorry for Justin because I knew what I was going to do to him. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but just I was obviously, as you saw the setup, I strung out all my nimble units in a position where I could bring them back over to the other side. So I wanted him initially to stay on that side. I figured that's where he'll go because it's the easiest spot. And then when he sees me going near the end to the other side, he'll then have to split his force. And by splitting his force, I can then concentrate on one area, kill that. If he comes back to get me, he's going to come back into his own half.
Yeah.
So it makes no difference whether he comes back and kills me or not, because he's not scoring. So, you know, it was, as I said to Justin, I'd love to get and have a friendly game. Not that that wasn't friendly, but one where I'll try and face up to his guys. Like my units are not, you know, pound for pound aren't a match for his undead units.
I thought it interesting looking at your list, Traish, that immediately I expected you to line up that Beast Slayer against his dragon. That was always the case, I guess, to corral his one fast big hitter.
Yeah, I had to keep him in check and try and get the other one was there just to delay him and keep his units on that side of the board.
Yeah, he did well with that.
Every time he try and turn, I'm threatening, so you know, let him creep up and near the end just fly over and jump into the scoring zone. If he gave me the opportunity, I would have taken out his catapults with it, even turn 2. But he thought that he didn't fall for that one. I put it just in the corner. So
no. Justin certainly protected himself. He protected himself well. Turn 2. You must really like the Void Lurkers though, Traish, because it's quite unusual for you to take any units above 200 points, and you took two Void Lurkers.
Yeah, I've been hanging. The best thing about finishing the game is I get to change lists again. And I won't be doing two Void Lurkers next. They're great, don't get me wrong, but I think there's better value putting into other units.
Yeah.
So
I'm now scared of doppelgangers. So, you know, if you run an undead army...
He also a perfect matchup for them, though, Justin. Doppelgangers into Soul Reaver infantry. You don't get much better than that.
No.
He was looking for it. I knew at the beginning of the game he would be as well. But, you know, there's no way. I kind of lost it at turn 4. And I knew, you know what, he outweighs my my US. And it was just a case of let's try and get some attrition. So I turned everything I could. And it's just, you know, I was trying ways not to leave my Soul Reavers into his doppelgangers, but you know, I couldn't even shift them at the end. I just needed a 5, and I still couldn't get rid of them.
He rolled really, as you would have seen, he rolled really poorly with his Soul Reavers. He should have killed that first butcher one. If it wasn't touched, I've got a reasonable chance of holding, but because I already had 3 wounds, he should have got them.
Yeah. And I think also rolled really poorly with the balefires. I mean, the one thing we talked about, Justin, was maybe potentially, given that Traish was so heavy on that side, maybe turn 2, you should have just maybe considered pivoting your balefires to the left and then hoping to take a unit or 2 of butchers by the end of the game.
Yeah, that could have been an option. I thought, you know, if I could get rid of his void on the right, then at least it frees me up. But, you know, there was always that chance that if I could take it, then it would just completely free up the threat on the right. But it just wasn't to be.
And I think with Stealthy, that's also a low chance, right? Stealthy is such a good rule.
Exactly. Yeah. And no double 6s there, unfortunately.
I was saying to Justin at the start, the 2 games I've lost in Call to Arms tournaments, I've been in 3 of them, are both to undead. So,
So Traish, what I'd be interested in is, because Justin had, I guess, what you would call a fairly, in the current month or whatever, few months, a fairly standard undead list.
Yeah, good.
What would be the one thing that you would have changed against you with his list?
Sorry, what would have I?
Like if you were running Justin's list and you had deployed exactly as you had, what would you have changed if you were Justin?
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have deployed the same for starters because I know the threat of what could be done to me. So I would have set myself up centrally so that whichever way I go, I can follow that. As I said, I threw my cheap units out to the sides, hoping to drag him out that way, and they did start going out that way. And once they got out there, I knew he can't get them back in time. He just can't get them into the game. So it's like my 2,000 points fighting 1,000 points of his.
Yeah.
So,
No, lessons learned there, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's the way we saw it. I think we were saying around about turn 3 that it was going to be really hard for Justin to win.
Yeah. Well, me and Justin spoke about it too. I think on about turn 4, turn 4 or 5. I said, look, you know you can't win here. You may as well go for the kills. May as well get as many points as you can.
Sounds like you thought about it turn 0 though, Trashy.
I'd already gone through the scenario, the army, how I'd run it, looked at the map. I do my homework.
I think that was the big difference, is that you stuck to a plan that you had and followed it through, whereas Justin, your plan kind of just almost right from the start, you were just trying to firefight, which is it's easily done. And everybody does it, so it's a good learning point from that. It is worth pointing out as well, you had a sweet spot in points. If you'd have managed to get somewhere between 350 and 500 points, you'd have got +2 instead of just +1.
I'm grateful he didn't table me. So.
It was never going to table you. For me, it was all about, even if I lost more in points than you, it was just about winning the scenario to win the game, because that's all I needed to do to get the tournaments.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Is it all you needed to do is win, no matter what win it was? The win was all you needed. I did like the fact though we had the sweet spot, and we're like, well, you've charged into too many units. If you kill all those units, then you'll go over the sweet spot. So you did the really clever thing and not kill a single one of them, so that you don't end up in the sweet spot at all.
I will happily take my Mittens award. I will happily take it. Thank you.
I've already taken my pants off to celebrate your victory, Trashy.
Oh, good God. I know it's late on down there, right? But come on. Right?
Yeah.
Right. I think we're getting to that sweet spot at the end of the cast where it will deteriorate. Has anybody got any other questions, or you want to say anything before we finish up?
Benson, you've usually got something.
Okay, at that point,
It's just ruining our thing.
We'll say adieu. Thank you very much, Justin.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really, it's a privilege to be here, and it's a privilege to play Jeff. So thanks very much.
No, yeah, it was a pleasure to play you, Justin, and look forward to our next game.
Yes, definitely, mate. Definitely. All right.
Congratulations, Jeff, on his win and his taking in the tournament. And thank you very much to Ben, Thomas, and Matt for keeping me company.
Ruining
Just
it.
about ruining it. No, making it the better thing that it could ever be. So thank you very much, guys.
Cheers,
and we'll see you
guys.
next time.
All right. Take care. Bye. Bye.
See you, Thomas.
Hello.
This is where I can't even end the podcast.
Get
There
out
you
of
go.
here.
I'm going to wait until you finish.